I've got something as well if you want afterwards, yeah?
Alright, man, Shalom.
Shalom.
Man. All praises be unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the elder apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone. Well, you taught us the truth. Shalom unto the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Alright, it's another camp there. We out here to, prophesy and push the word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, which is his name, man. The name of the Father is Yahweh, and the name of the Son is Yahweh Shai. And let's start with James chapter 4 and 8. Take it from there. I'll kick it off.
James chapter 4 starting at verse 8 says, draw nigh unto the Most High God, and he will draw nigh unto you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded.
Yeah, because I was thinking about it heavily this week. We're at the end of 2023, and we're headed into 2024, man. And, things have always been serious and critical, but ever more so now, man. We're in a very serious time, man. We're at the end of the world, according to the Bible. We can hold that. 2 Ezra 6 and 9, Bible Kushah. All right, we're at the end of the world, man. And, we got to be in a stoic and serious mindset, man. This ain't the time to be drawing onto women, drawing onto the lust of the flesh, stupid shit, man. We have to draw nigh onto the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Read that again, Bible Kushah.
This is James 4 and verse 8 again. And it says, draw nigh unto the Most High God, and he will draw nigh unto you.
Draw nigh unto the Most High, and he will draw nigh unto you. It's a two-way thing, right? Because we need the protection of the Heavenly Father through his Son, man. We need that protection, man. All right, everywhere we look, every direction we turn on the news, man, you keep up to date with current events, we can clearly see that this is the end of the world, man. And we need Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay? We can't do this by ourselves, man. We're entering into a time whereby the Lord said in the scriptures, there's never been a time on planet Earth like that, man. Yeah, we come out here week in and week out and prophesy and preach about it. But then when you sit at home and contemplate what the fuck is going on and what's about to happen, it's a very sobering thought, man. Okay? Draw nigh unto the Most High, and he will draw nigh unto you. How do you draw nigh unto the Lord? By seeking his face. By getting into the word, man. You got a lot of people, last-minute.comers, coming along, which I'm not going to knock them for that, because that's just their lot. And the scriptures do speak about that. You're going to have people that come in at the 11th hour. But it's a whole different dynamic now, man. You got to get this, and you got to get it fast, man. How do you draw nigh unto the Lord? By seeking his prophets, man. Seeking the truth.
Right.
Read that.
Isaiah 34 and verse 16 to back up what you're saying.
Yeah.
Seek ye out of the book of Yahweh and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it have commanded, and his spirit it have gathered them.
Yeah, the book of the Lord is what? The book of the Lord is the Holy Scriptures, man. The Bible, man. Not none of these alternative texts. Remember, we mentioned that, was it last week or the week before, when we opened up about the other texts. You got all these other religious texts out there, which is bullshit, man. The book of the Lord is the scriptures, man, the Holy Bible, okay? And as I said, why is it that nobody wants to disprove these other books? Nobody, when things go wrong in the world, nobody goes to the Quran. Nobody goes to the Quran and tries to look and, match up with secular history. What does the Quran say? But it's always trying to disprove the Bible being wrong, because that's the spirit of Satan in the world, trying to disprove the scriptures, man. But the reason why the book in question is always the Bible, because it is the book. It is the book of the Lord. Ain't nobody fucking questioning the Talmud, consulting the Talmud. The devil does. The Edomites. But why, as they say, world religion. Nobody's consulting that. Nobody's consulting the Hindu Vedas, all right?
The Egyptian book of the
The
dead.
Egyptian book of the dead. Nobody's consulting them scriptures. When it concerns finding out what's going on in the world, You know, why? That's everyone's big question. Why? The big simple question, why? Well, why is answered by the Bible, man. Why is answered by the book of the Lord. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail. All your other texts are going to fail. All your other pathways, all your other philosophies, they're going to fail you. What won't fail you is the Bible, because the Bible is true. And it's the inspired word of the Heavenly Father through His Son, man. Okay?
That's the one thing, forgive me for interjecting, but that's the one thing that's going to survive this world. You know, all the other lies, all the other doctrines are going to be destroyed, but the truth shall endure for forever. So the words that we have recorded in the scriptures, they're going to be carried through into the world to come, which will be the kingdom of heaven. No other book's going to be making it on the other side, man. You're not going to have people in the New Jerusalem trying to consult the Quran, man. Trying to consult these old books.
Yeah, some secret copy that got preserved.
Actually, you know what, it's like, maybe I should correct myself, because the heathens are still going to go off.
Yeah.
So we're still going to have to punish them. So maybe there will be some fucking Ishmaelite somewhere in a fucking dungeon, like, you know, with a torch, and he opens up the fucking, some fucking case, and there's an old Quran in there with all dust, and he's sitting there reading it. You know,
or even just from memory, you know what I mean? Like, he's gonna try and like consult, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like they'll be in a fucking cave somewhere trying to bow down.
yeah, and they're doing it 5 times a day.
And you got like, you know what I mean, bro? So yeah, it's gonna get smacked out of him. But the point is, man, where it concerns being practiced, no other text is gonna survive. The only surviving text, and the reason it's gonna survive is because the only true text is the Holy Scriptures, man. Okay, so to seek His face ain't no other fucking way, man. It's the Bible, man. Right? Well, not.
Yeah. It's about both of you, what you both said. Ecclesiastes or Sirach 39:1 says, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof," which you kind of mentioned it earlier on. We're aware of these things, but when you really reflect on it, there's a seriousness about it. And I'll be reflecting on, anyway, let me finish. Thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancients and be occupied in prophecy.
Yeah, how do you seek it out? How do you seek it out, man? You seek it out by going to His men. That's why we started out in, get that again, James, Baba Kasha.
Yeah, gotcha.
Draw nigh unto the Most High, and He will draw nigh unto you. It's a simple concept, but it's a powerful concept. That's the catch, man. It's powerful, and we're gonna need that power in this day. The Bible says, you sit at home and you contemplate things. You ever sit at home, man, and you realize what you're involved in, and it's like, oh shit. Like, we're actually at the stage now where it's not just about coming out here and you're a regular face to the people that watch you on YouTube or wherever you set up the camp. We're talking about our faces going on news. All right, we're talking about your own family members ganging up against you and selling you out, man. All right, we're talking about what they say in the house of Nazareth, the hour of shadows.
Oh yeah, the hour of shadows.
We're talking about the hour of shadows, man. You know, this is the time where it's gonna get real dark out here, man.
Yep.
You know, so it's more than a garment. It's more than a sign and a camera and some brothers getting together. This is about, look, man, have we really sought to draw nigh unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai? Have we really sought after His face, man? Have we really appreciated and established his ways, man? You know? Think about these things, man. Okay? That's why that birth, you know, from time to time, you know, you got brothers get together. We're happy to see one another, you know, kind of, you know, brothers got different spirits and that. You see us laugh and joke. But don't be mistaken, this ain't no fucking game. You know what I'm saying, bro?
James, good.
I'm just saying that, man. You got a lot of brothers. I wouldn't say guilty because it's not necessarily a bad thing, but you know what I'm saying, bro. I make jokes and laugh and shit. But then you know what I mean? You can't push that man into a fucking comedy club, man.
You've got to balance it out, though.
Yeah, you got to balance it out because at the same time.
The doves have to fly over.
This isn't stand up.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
The
But-
doves have to fly over.
Yeah, now and then, man. Eat from my eat, whatever, man. But guess what? No, it's true. That's a good point because the scripture says with stammering lips. So you are gonna have buffoonery and brothers are goofy, man. You know, joke about and you know within measure. But at the same time, as you said, it ain't stand up, man. Because you got them people, they'll tune in because you make jokes and that, man.
Oh, I feel like I just remember.
You know. Again, I'm not gonna talk about my pay grade because no, I wasn't there. But we've all been told by the apostles, man. And again, I'll clarify this. I'm not saying this because I was there. I wasn't even fucking born for the majority of the time the school was open. All right. So I ain't saying it's like I'm a contemporary because I'm fucking not. I'm a young brother in the faith. But as we've all been told by the apostles, you had different men that had different classes on different days.
Oh, yeah.
And what did the Apostle Tahar once say? The class was always full when one particular guy was teaching because he was known for jokes.
And it was the comedy guy, yeah.
Yeah, when the comedy guy is the one holding the class, the whole school's full. But then when it's a class where it's just straight scriptures, no fucking around, it's not as full. Why do you think? It's the same thing to this day. You do a video on women,
Yep.
cursing people out, you get all animated and shout, or you make a lot of jokes, 500 views, 1,000 views.
Yep.
You do a video on a
Breakdown.
on a breakdown, let's just say, 20 views.
If you're lucky.
If you look, so what's going on then? Why is the numbers don't lie? Why is there such a disparity? Yeah, because the majority of listeners are fucking clowns, man. But we ain't clowns. Yeah, we laugh and joke and shit, but we're not fucking clowns, man. We're deadly serious about this, man. Okay? We're serious about this, okay? And we go home and we ain't just up here chatting shit. What did Apostle Paul say? That I keep under my body lest I be a castaway. You can't be out here preaching and then not doing it. We contemplate up here, man. We soberly ponder upon the scriptures because this is the hour of shadows, man. Did you finish on that? I know Caleb got something.
Yeah, I'm finished.
Alright, go back to 2 Corinthians 6 and 9 and then go eat.
I was just holding James 4:8 if you wanted it again.
Yeah, Baba Kashak, please.
Oh, there's another one I've got actually.
Yeah, go on.
Are you finished, Arya?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, so the other one I was holding is this. This is, what was I? Yeah,
No, I'm
this is,
saying, bruv, you got a guy that will just shoot you. Even them dudes that they'll comment great video. It's always them great video comments when it's like some light-hearted shit. But you get into some seriousness in the scriptures and they just miss it. That means they are watching, but they're tuning out. Yeah, they'll watch the first 2 minutes. Oh no, he's getting into some boring stuff now.
Yeah.
And then that means you got people watching and logging off. And then you know what YouTube does now? You see, I like YouTube, even though they're the devil. I like them because when you go on the channel analytics, you can see who's watching from where and for how long. It can tell you the engagement of how long people actually stayed on the video. So you know if people watch the whole thing or if they just watch part of it. So when they're just watching part of it, you're like, what does that mean? They've got 4 minutes and 6 seconds in. Oh, no, he ain't gonna tell no jokes today. Oh, he's not talking about the black woman. Oh, okay. They laugh.
But you know what it is? Shalom. It's the demons. Because remember, like I said this before, but I'll say it again. I say it before, but I'll say it again. This is because the truth isn't for everybody. So if you do a deep video on a deep topic and it only gets 2 views, that shows you that only the elect are going to receive it because nobody else can get it. So they will log off. It's not for them. But I just got a quick preset for you. This is
You know Jake and their attention span. It's real low.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is a sad shame. If you ain't got colours and bright lights, Jake.
This is Proverbs 12 and 19, touching upon the point of what we mentioned about the truth will be the only thing that endures into the new world. This says, Proverbs 12:19, the lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Yeah, so all these other doctrines, these philosophies, they're all coming from lying tongues, man. So the moment that they'll be around is this moment right now. But we're coming to the end of this time, the end of this age. And we read it in 2 Ezra 6 and 9, for Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. And the beautiful thing about this transition is we find it very difficult to operate in Esau's world. Before camp, we were talking about how we have to supplant and, do everything just to try and get by in this world. But in the world to come, it's going to be very uncomfortable for Edomites to survive.
Right.
Because just as we find it difficult to be around wickedness, they're going to find it very difficult to be around righteousness, but they're not going to have a choice. It's going to be beaten into them, and basically they're going to be catching hell every day. But that's what we look forward to because that's the world to come, a world wherein dwelleth righteousness. All this bullshit, all this folly, we're coming up to the new year and shit. It's all going to be put out, man. It's all going to be put out.
Here it is really dead set in the winter. Nothing's growing. But then it's dark outside, but then as the clock strikes 12,
Oh, with the champagne and shit.
10,
9,
9,
8, 7.
and they're all doing that, looking at each other. It's like, bro, if you do it, you know what I mean? 3, 2, 1, and then you go over there to London Night, right? And then you just see fireworks popping off, you know, and everyone just gathering there.
Yeah.
And you go home and do nothing,
Yeah.
and it's back to normal.
And then they're back to work the next day.
Yeah. Happy New Year. Yeah, and they make stupid New Year's resolutions. And then don't even fuck this place, man. What's that? Second Ezra 6 and 9. Or if you got something, man.
Oh yeah. Let's get that one. Second Ezra 6 and 9 says, for Esau is the end of the world and Jacob.
What are you counting down for, man? Nothing's gonna change. You know, it's not like you're gonna implement righteousness. So why are you counting down?
Yeah.
You're counting down to be more wicked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go on, man.
Yeah. For Esau, 2 Ezra 6 and 9 from the top again. For Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of the afterlife that follows.
Yeah, so Jacob is the beginning of following, man. Okay? So we know what's gonna happen. We're talking about it in the car. It's not like we don't, we know what's gonna happen. Everybody and their granddad can sense that something's changing. It's just that there's a group of men that know why. And there's a group of men that know why it's changing and what's going to be the change. That's us. The scripture says that he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. This is the secret place, man. So we know what's going on because of the Lord. Gave us the eyesight to see. Lord willing, we continue to see, man. Everybody else, they can sense a shift, but they don't know where it's going. That's why the day of the Lord is gonna come as a thief. We can get that as a night to these people, man. The Lord ain't gonna come like a thief to us. Now, will we be scared when the Lord comes back? Yeah, of course. The scripture says that, man. How the hell can you not be scared? But are we going to be anticipating his return? Yes, we are. To this day, we're anticipating the Lord's return. You know, I'm cussing at the countdown, but shit, we're counting down too. We're counting down to a new world, man. Esau is the end of the world, and just one of my favorite scriptures. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. What's so fucking hard to understand about that, man? Okay? There's a world to come, man. Read, bro.
This is 1 Thessalonians 5, starting at verse 1, a few verses. Says, but of the times and of the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you.
Yeah.
For ye yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall so come as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them.
Yeah, hold that. Get is it Job 20 and 23, when he's about to fill his belly. When they say peace and safety, man, that's that. I was talking about that in the week, man. Esau's going. Look, man, this is why we need to again continue to draw nigh unto the Most High, and He will draw nigh unto us. Because if we are not established, the scripture says, rooted and established in the faith, man. All right, it's gonna get to the point where it looks like Esau's done it. It's gonna get there, man. It's gonna look like this Bible was bullshit. You know, this truth was, you know, it's not the truth after all. Coming out here was wasting your time every Saturday. All this studying, all this cold, enduring the heat, the cold. It's gonna get to the point where it looks like Esau's won. And when everything in your face and around you is saying the devil's won, we still need to be able to dig deep and say Yahushua is coming, man. When they shall say peace and safety, what the hell does that mean? That means Esau's gonna, you know, when you've done the job, you can kick back and relax. He's gonna get to the point where he begins to kick back and relax. What does that mean? He's gonna fulfill, for the most part, his NWO.
Which means he's gonna chip the majority of the people.
He's gonna chip the majority of the people, man. And society's going to be working as Esau would have it in this new world order. But still, we're gonna have to be able to stand strong, man. And say, nah, man, I believe in the prophecies. And this is why we go over them over and over and over and over again, righteously brainwashing ourselves. Because the time is coming where it's gonna look like Esau has fucking won. When they shall say peace and safety, man. Keep reading up.
Me or Arya?
No, you.
Yeah.
No,
Back in
bro.
1 Thessalonians 5, I got to verse 4. No, yeah, verse 4. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light.
Yeah, so the people in the world are in darkness.
You need to finish at verse 3.
Oh, so lucky, let me go
finish
back
it
a
up.
bit. Back in verse 3, the water. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction
Yeah.
cometh upon them, and as travail upon a woman with a child, and they shall not escape.
Yeah. So they're gonna say peace and safety, then sudden destruction is gonna come upon them. Why? Because that great millstone that Daniel saw in the king saw in the vision, and Daniel broke it down. All right, that's Yahushua coming back to de-establish his setup, man. So where are we in the statue? Where are we? We're at the toes. All right. You know, iron mixed with clay. You know, as iron does not mix with clay, what does the scripture say? So shall the kingdom be partly weak and partly strong. You've got the 10 toes and everything, you know, you've got weaker nations, stronger nations, you know. So Yahushua is going to come and destroy that, man. Suddenly. Alright? When he's put his guard down, when he's chilling, when he's cooling in the cut, the scripture says that Jacob waxed fat and kicked. He was, you know, he was rich and just chilling out, man. That's what Jake liked to do. Well, it's going to get to the point where it looks like Esau's waxing fat and is about to kick. But as he gets to that point, boom! Yahushua comes, man. Keep reading on that. And then we'll
Yep.
get you out.
In verse 4, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day.
So we're the children of light and of the day. What is the light, man? Who is the light? It's a question. Who's the light? Yahushua is the light, man. Yahushua. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, man. Yahushua has come. Alright? And he's coming again. Right? So we're in the light and we're the children of the day. Alright? So what does that mean? We're the real Luciferians then. We're the real Illuminati in righteousness. We're the real enlightened ones, man. You know when you're in university and you and you graduate Illuminati, class of 2021. You know, or wherever year the Lord comes up, we gonna be that class, man. And we gonna be graduated into them new bodies and rulership and power, man. The real true Illuminati is the elect.
Yeah,
Always were, man, and always will be. With Yahushua, man. There's a little bit more on that.
Yeah, so verse 6. Therefore let us not sleep as do others,
Yeah.
but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night.
Yeah, sleeping is what? Being naive to the ways of this world and just going along to get along, man. The scripture says that they in Revelation 13 they worship the beast. Worshipping the beast ain't getting on your knees and prostrating, oh beast system, I worship you and I adore you and I highly esteem. No, it's not that. Worshipping the beast is going along to get along, man.
Giving your mind over
Giving
to
your
their
mind
ways.
over and conforming. Now, do we have to conform to and get along to a certain degree? Yeah, everyone does. But where we will say no is where it comes to the chick. So the real worship of the beast is going along where it concerns taking a chick. You know? That's the real worship of the beast. I'm trying to recall my train of thought. What did that last verse say?
Read it again. It says, for they that sleep, sleep in the night.
The water. They that sleep. So being asleep is likened unto just going along with the system, beast worship, you know, just in darkness, man. You know, like when you close your eyes, it's the spirit who's talking about that, you know. And then you wake up, it's like, whoa. Yeah, that's how people are spiritually in this world. They're just asleep to the reality of what's going on, and they're just involved in the world, man. You know, but we're of the day, man. Okay, we're of the day. We're not of the night. You know. That's why the scriptures speak about them. You know, running around in darkness, man. You know, doing all kind of. People are weirdos do things in the dark, man. People that do stuff that they know is wrong, they do it in the dark. That's why a lot of criminal activity is done in the dark, man. You got these roadside prozzies, right? They don't just stand on the street corners in some areas. But if they're kind of half, you know, whatever, man, decent, they don't just stand there at daytime. They wait for it to get dark, and then they start selling work at night time. Drug dealers doing all kind of transactions and stuff. It's all through night time, man. Why? Because you can kind of hide in the dark, you know, sneak around and do what you gotta do, man. We ain't in that type of shit, man.
So like even witches,
Yeah,
they call the witching hour 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
So what's that? It's the middle of the night. So they'll be up in the middle of the night doing all kind of spells and incantations. What are they doing it? Under darkness,
Well,
man.
remember when, I ain't gonna say the place, when we used to be in that major other park and we was up on the hill a few years ago.
Yeah.
Not recently, when we was there a couple of years ago.
Okay.
We was there for a long run.
Oh yeah, I remember. They came back in the dark.
Remember when we was
Pitch black.
leaving?
Yeah.
They're going into the park. And that ain't no little like, let's be honest, man. We ain't gonna say where we're at. You know, this is just, you know, for us, but it's like, say we was over there, yeah? This is a nice, beautiful green, right? Beautiful park. You know, for what this kingdom can offer, right? But compared to that park, this is a little play park. This ain't on no level of that place, man. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like you're just walking through a dark park. This is some massive forest type shit, man. You know what I mean, bro?
Yeah.
And you got people leaving, right? And they're going in. You know?
Yeah.
Remember, it used to get so dark. We had to put the torches on to get out of there, man.
Yeah.
And it's all kind of hills and stuff. You know, it's like you're trekking, man.
Yeah.
You know? So imagine we're leaving that environment. You know what I mean? And then they're going in, up into the hills, into the forest, all right, to do what?
To beat their drums and shit.
We used to hear it,
Yeah.
remember? And then that guy came around and said, oh, what, are you a part of the... Because
Yeah.
witches used to go there, man. Go on, man.
I was just going to add something to that, if I may. That's why, because they, these druids, they used to worship under groves, under trees.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think some years ago, Apostle Gabar was talking about this. But I also noticed it myself. When you go into a lot of these old church buildings,
Yep.
the way the roofs are designed,
Yep.
the way they're interlaced, it's like tree branches. So, this is nothing new under the sun. And witchcraft is real, man.
Yeah. And then we did some research on that place, and that's where the majority of witches in London gather anyway, in that particular area. And then round the corner from that place, at another time, they had a stone shop, and we went into the shop, man. You know, because we're into the stones, and something said to me, man, I don't know about this place, man. But you know when like multiple brothers go inside, like, let me not just be, you know,
That would be the killjoy,
you
yeah.
don't want to be the killjoy, you don't want to be the like, you know, the disappointment in the, I said, like, fuck it, if brothers, maybe I'm wrong, you know what I mean? Because brothers got senses too, man. Maybe I'm just off today. So I went in with the brothers, man. I took 2 steps in there, and you could just see the guys look. Was it a guy or a woman? I can't remember. It was an Edomite. And the look was like, what the fuck are you niggas doing in here?
Mm-hmm.
But it was racism, but it was more spiritual. Like our spirits just clashed.
Yeah, the spirit, the spirit overwhelmed in there, man. That's what happened.
Yeah, true. But he didn't want to, because we're on the right
Yeah,
side,
yeah,
he's on the
yeah.
left.
Yeah.
He just looked at us like, and we was like, alright, okay, alright, bye. And we left, man. But it was a stone shop. Now you can use things in righteousness and you can use it in wickedness. Why they got a stone shop in that particular area?
Yeah. Who's he selling to? Well, it certainly ain't selling to us.
Yeah, he said it to us, man. We weren't welcome, man. You know? So, yeah, man, you got a lot of, that's why the scripture says it, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Hold what you got,
Yep.
and then let hurry on.
Yeah, this is Daniel 12 and 4 says, But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. You mentioned about we in that time now where people are asleep, but just to add to that, there's people going to get a rude awakening, which they're already getting a rude awakening. Some things we are aware of with the celebrities and all of that, you know. Elder might get into some of that, you know, when he comes up, you know, the falling of P. Diddy and all of these people there. You're gonna hear more. There's a whole heap of things been going on under the, you know, underneath this, behind the scenes. So I looked up this word here, just to make the point. Revealing, yeah. revealed, right? The book of Revelation. We're in that time. And so I just tapped in reveal. I might do a video on this because there's a whole you can come at this many different ways. Reveal, the word reveal means person or present revealed past to tense. Make something known to humans by divine or supernatural means. People are going to get a rude awakening. Just to say that. Supernatural means the truth revealed at the incarnation in a film or television program, a final revelation of the information that has been previously been kept from the character of viewers. You know, at the end when you don't know what's going to happen, and some big giant, you know what I mean? You know, you can use your imagination. So there's like an airy feeling that you can see in the spirit. People gonna be drunk. People doing that because they know there's something coming. They know in their spirit something's coming. But that's all I got to say on that. You know, that's why it says that.
That reminds me of Pompeii, man. You know, when the Mount Vesuvius erupted, and they knew they couldn't escape the city in time. So they were just said, you know what? They were headless. So they said, fuck it, man. Let's just go out doing what we love. So you had people, like, you know when the ash and the thing gets you, it like freezes you,
Petrifies you.
yeah, into that thing. So when they get hit by the fire, they actually just die like that in the position of whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
And then they have like their body just solidifies, and there's just a sculpture there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you've had sculptures of people stuffing their face with food for the
Oh,
last
the
time.
pyroclastic flow.
Yeah.
The hurricane, tornadoes and all that.
You know the volcano.
Volcano, that's it. Yeah.
So
Pyroclastic flow is
you had people like stuffing their face with food for the last time as they got hit with the ashes.
Yeah.
You had people masturbating. Like a guy just holding his, I've seen it, people just holding their rod and they just die. If they know they're gonna go out, so they say, fuck it, let's just go out with some pleasure. We ain't got a gal just bent over, just tapping it, and like, it's dead, man. So it's like, as you said, it's the same thing. They know something's coming, so they say, you know what, if I can't escape it, let me just go out with some fun. Let's just get drunk, let's just do anything, and let's just go out.
Yeah.
You
Before an
know?
operation, that's why people accept, being numbed. Because they know there's going to be a pain, it's going to be painful. So or they might say, put me to sleep.
That's why the scriptures speak about Sodom and Gomorrah.
That's suicide.
It's going to be likened onto the same thing. Because you had Sodom, Gomorrah, there was 3 other minor cities around it, but 5 in total. They all knew they were going out. You see, fuck it then, let's just go do whatever, man. And that's the spirit of this world. People don't even give a fuck no more. Ask people, are you saving? I don't really save no more. Nah, I'm just living to have fun. But you're doing the right thing. Max out the blood clot credit card. Right. Do it, man. Have your fun. Don't worry about your repayments because you're not going to live. You're not going to have the opportunity to live it out anyway. Have your fun, man. They're really and truly, I don't blame them. They're in the right spirit. Yeah. Don't care. You're right for not caring. You caring would be a waste of the time you have right now. Don't fucking care, Esau, man. Do what you want. Because just like Mount Vesuvius, it's erupted. And it's only a matter of time before that molten ash hits your ass, man. In the form of Yahweh Shai coming back. And what are you going to do? They show you that in the movies. It's always that fucking bridge in San Francisco, is it?
Oh, yeah.
People trying to cross the bridge.
And the road.
Beep, 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 move the fucking car, man. The bridge collapses.
Yeah.
You ain't got enough time to escape the city. You ain't got enough time to escape your own kingdom. Why? Because you can't escape your kingdom. You're destined for doom and judgment, man. So max the credit card out, have the fun, do what you want to do, man. Because Yahweh Shai's coming back.
Can't.
And there's 2 different mindsets. Whilst Esau and the people of this world, whilst you should be in a spirit of fun, we should be in a spirit of solemnness. That's why, again, I started out with James 4:8. This is for us, man. Fuck you, you heathens, you goyim, man. Fuck you. Have fun. Draw nigh unto the Most High applies to the Israelites, namely the elect. And he will draw nigh unto you. It's time for us to be solemn. And it's time for you to have fun. Don't worry about the Bible, man. Fuck Christianity, man. Yeah, well, the good Lord Jesus came for everybody. No. Put the Bible down, all right? Stop going to church. You know what I mean, bro? Forget the Bible, man. It's useless to you. It's not going to benefit you, man. Live a hedonistic lifestyle, man. Do what the fuck you want to do. Don't worry about the Bible. It's not for you, man. It's for the elect. You know what I'm saying, bro? You got a lot of time wasters out here trying to concern themselves with things that ain't even for them. Put the book down, man. Concerned with that form, man. You don't even follow it anyway. You say you're a Christian and then you eat pork. You say you're a Christian and you commit adultery, man. You say I believe in God and the God of the Bible, but you call him Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, put it down. You're wasting your time, man.
Christianity is essentially do as thou wilt.
It's essentially, yeah.
That's the whole. That should be the whole law. Do as thou wilt.
Read that, man. Finish on that.
Right. Calm. Back in 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, from verse 8. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet the hope of salvation. For the Most High God have not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. So that's where we're going to be, man. That's our, Lord willing, we're of the elect.
No.
Lord willing, we're of the elect. That's going to be our lot, man, because it's a double-handed thing. The Most High is going to send Yahushua to bring destruction, but at the same time, he has to fulfill his word and deliver the elect. I'm all right for now, thank you for water. So that's going to be the balance. That's the way the Most High is going to play it. So I'm going to change topic a little bit, not too much, but just going to speak a bit on something that I observed recently. So basically, over the Christmas period, we had that guy popping back up on the scene. The guy from ROI talking about he's eating the pork and sanctifying it through the name of Yahushua and prayer. But that doesn't work. You can't make something clean which the Most High has made unclean. But the point is that guy, he looks very, you know, he's got, let's just say he's got a very robust waistline. He doesn't look too healthy. So what I found out is over the past few days, I found out that there's actually something called, there's actually a movement where you've got these fat people who say that, oh, well, you can't call us fat because you're fat phobic. So basically, right, they're trying to say that, oh, well, some people can be racist, some people can be homophobic, but if you tell someone they're overweight or obese, now you're so-called fat phobic. Now they've tried to change it to where, okay, you can't use the word obese anymore because that's a hateful term, right? So basically what they've tried to do is to get these influencers on social media who are very overweight to try and come on social media now, like TikTok and your YouTube, and they're putting out videos talking about, oh, what do they call? They're trying to push the image of so-called body positivity. Right now you've got all these magazines like, what is it? These women's magazines putting these, they're not just plus size models, because you've got what's known as so-called plus size models where you get women who are a bit more curvy, but this is beyond that. They're literally obese, where they've got guts that are hanging down, drooping down to where their knees are, and they're talking about being on the cover of magazines, talking about, oh, I love myself and I'm so big and I'm so beautiful. Now, what's happened on top of that is you've had these influencers going on social media talking about, oh, I'm fat and I'm beautiful and I'm living my best life, and here's what I eat in a day. And they'll make videos of them basically eating all kinds of madness and bullshit in one day, and they still turn around and talk about, oh, well, you know, you can't say anything because if you do, you're fat phobic. Now, on top of that, there's been this whole movement of fat people gathering together. Now they're coming out against people who might put videos on YouTube of how they lost weight, and they're saying, oh no, you can't do that because that's offensive to us, because anybody who attempts to lose weight for health reasons is fat phobic. So basically, let me break this down. What Esau's done is he's tried to eliminate the idea that obesity causes health problems such as, you know, organ failure, heart disease, all this kind of stuff, and he's trying to say you can be as big as you want and you're still healthy and you're still beautiful. Now what's happened is a lot of young people have bought into this this whole idea of, look, the world has to just accept me however I am, and if anybody tries to tell me to lose weight, then they're wrong and they're offensive and they're speaking hate towards me because I'm fat, right? And I want to be fat and nobody can't tell me nothing. Now, this is ridiculous because what's happened is you've had these set-up university professors coming out saying, oh, well, I got a degree in fat studies, right? and yeah, there was this big woman. Her name was Kat Forze, right? Big woman as big as a fucking bus. Says she's got a degree in fat studies and how she's all about body positivity and how people shouldn't be told to lose weight anymore, and doctors shouldn't even weigh people. They're saying that when you go to the doctor now, and if you ask to step on the scale, that's offensive, that's fat phobic. Now, I've said all of that to say this, right? The Most High gets the last laugh, because what's happened is, over the past year, a lot of these social media influencers on YouTube, and that same woman who had a degree in fat studies, they've dropped dead. They've dropped dead of heart attacks, of organ failure, and it's not a small number of them. A large number of social media influencers dropped dead in 2023. So basically now people are starting to think, hang on a minute, they were trying to teach us that, yeah, being obese is okay, and you can be whatever you want, but now they're actually dropping dead, and people are like, hang on a minute. Their whole movement now has been exposed as a sham. But what it really goes back to, do you want to say something? Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus 31:20, sound sleep cometh of moderate eating.
Oh,
He riseth early, and his wits are with him. But the pain of watching and choler and pangs of the belly are with an unsatiable man.
oh, that's beautiful. And that's perfect, because the shit that these people are eating, man. And the thing is, it's disgusting, because you had this one guy, what was his name? I think his YouTube channel was called Waffler69. And basically he'd do videos of him basically eating like a greedy pig. Like he had these huge, like, you know, you get these, in America they go ridiculous on the food. You got these, what do they call them? The one with the hoops, the breakfast cereal with the hoops.
Now I was thinking of something else.
There's a cereal over here. It's called it's like these little circles, and they're weird. I can't remember what they're called. Is it Cheerios? Might be
Cheerios,
yeah, Cheerios.
They're holding them in.
Yeah.
Cheerios.
Yeah, in America they've got them, but they make them huge. Like they're like this big. They're like huge, and they'll get one, and they'll dip it in milk and they'll eat it. It's fucking ridiculous. This guy was making YouTube videos of him eating all kind of shit, right? And the videos would get millions of views. And the reason why I'm saying this is because this is a great example of how in a society, folly is setting great dignity. We mentioned it a minute ago. You could do videos on all kind of truth of the scriptures, and you only get like 1 or 2 views. But you get this fat piece of shit eating these giant Cheerios and milk, and it's getting like all kind of thousands of views. Now the ironic thing is that it goes deeper than just a few people on social media trying to push this fat phobic thing. This goes back to the agenda of the elites, because really the agenda of the elites is to depopulate the earth. So their thing is that, look man, and they've even come out and said it, what is it, the Rockefeller Foundation, weren't they behind the pharmaceutical industry? They want people to be as sick as they possibly can be, because when people are sick, they keep having to go to the medical system to get support. You got something to say?
I keep interrupting.
That's alright, keep
Go
it.
ahead.
It's fine.
But, can't help. So, you got the Rothschilds. They have lambs and cows that are free roaming, unchipped, right? Eating, you know, what they should be eating, non-GMOs, not fattening them up. They're eating good shit. They're eating good shit, man. You got it in England, they've got like lambs and shit, and it's in a secluded, cut-off area. That's what they're eating. But then they'll have the lab rats, pump them up, and then put all kind of chemicals in them and feed it to you and me. And then you're eating it, getting sick. But then they're eating good meat. They want to make you think, oh yeah, well, you know, with global warming and stuff, there's no more good animals. There's good animals. They've got them.
Yeah.
But then they'll be giving you the pumped up shit.
Yep.
It's crazy, man.
But
They'll be drinking the good wine, and then you go to this fucking corner shop, and they'll put like 50% vinegar in it, some other shit, and you drink it. Oh, it's not for me. I've got a headache.
Yeah.
No, it's not. That's not for you. You're drinking poison. Man.
There you go.
You got, if you're gonna drink wine over here in England, you gotta go to like a Waitrose, like a good, you know, there's a shop called a Wine Cellar. All them kind of high end. You go to these places, man.
Piss water. Did you have a piece of? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got a piece of.
Go ahead.
Sirach 14 and 5 says, because someone got a program saying they're promoting being fat.
Yeah.
Alright.
So forgive me. You got to ask the question: who's funding these people?
Yeah.
Because these people are on social media, they're on the radio, they're on the magazine covers. It's the elites who are funding this movement that unhealthy. They're trying to say that unhealthy is healthy. Go ahead.
Anyway, so many ways to come. I might have to do a video on this one as well, bro. Sirach 14 and 5 says, "He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods."
Go ahead, break it
Man,
down.
I just looked up the parasites, man. Because man, it's kind of anyway. Let me just look at the meaning.
Oh,
right?
parasite. Yeah, break it down. Go on.
I've just got the meaning of parasite. What a parasite does. Yeah, quickly. An organism that lives in or on an organism. Say it again. An organism that lives in or on an organism or another spectacle its host and benefits by deriving nutrients at the other's expense. When I look at those people, which I try not to look at them too long, but you just know that there's just because parasites, as we spoke about this before, parasites are demons.
They're living in their body.
You know, and the demons go up in your head and they reconstruct your brain, and you think it's you talking when you're craving all that sugar and you're craving all that big food. What the man was doing, it really is a cry for help, because he's saying, "Help me, help!" in an indirect way where the demons have consumed him, man.
But that's a good point. And the reason why I'm talking about this topic is because it relates to this guy who we mentioned from ROI, who was,
Yeah.
oh, you niggas gonna love this. You know, got me 2 hams. See, that same nigga right now, here's the funny thing. I'm mentioning these fat social media influencers because they've all been dropping dead. The woman with the fat studies degree, she dropped dead, heart attack, right? The guy who was eating the big Cheerio thing with the milk, he dropped dead, heart failure. Another fat woman influencer dropped dead. And another one, 2 others, but there's more than that, but that's just 4 people I've done research on. They've all been dropping dead. Now, it's a combination of things. It's them being morbidly obese, but it's also the V, right? Because the V shot leads to, we went into, myocarditis, blocked arteries. So if you're already in that kind of a state and you're putting them kind of poisons in your body, that's only going to exacerbate the problem. But either way, these people are dropping dead. So this guy who on Christmas Day was there saying, "I got 2 hams for you. What was it? 1 for the money, 2 for the Pharisees." You saying all this shit, right? He ain't fooling no one. Like, this is the thing. People on this earth, they're fucking stupid, right? They think they're doing the new thing. Like, he thinks he's the first person to, eat ham or whatever in the truth. He ain't, man. And the Most High is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So, like, he's thinking maybe, oh yeah, well, just because I've said all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, I've sanctified this unclean meat through prayer.
Sanctified by the word of God.
Yeah, look, man, the scriptures talk about you can't make who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? You know, who can make who can take something that's polluted and make it clean? You can't, you know? So basically, he's going to drop dead too, because he's basically doing the exact same thing that these fat influencers are doing. But the worst thing about it is that, again, you've got a lot of young people now who have bought into this bullshit, because this is another vain doctrine of the world. Just like young people are being taught that you can change your gender. Oh, maybe you were assigned the wrong gender at birth and you need to have hormone suppressants and all this kind of shit. A lot of young people now, they're thinking, oh, maybe this is a particular way that I can live my life. Likewise, a lot of these fat young women, they're becoming so entitled now to where they're actually going on people's chat. Like, they have people in their community who decided, look, you know what, man? Yeah, let me just say something and I'll get to you. You've got people in that community who are like, you know what, man? I'm tired of feeling overweight. I'm tired of being out of breath when I'm walking up 5 stairs. Let me try and lose some weight. You got actual people who are coming and attacking them now, saying, "Oh, what you're doing is hateful. You're
Fat shaming.
Yeah, you're fat shaming because you're losing weight and you're making us feel you're fat phobic, basically, because you want to get in. Like, if you put on social media, yeah, I lost 10 stone, and you show yourself, they're actually coming on your comment board attacking you for what do they call it? Causing alarm and distress to them. So this is a society that is so fucking arse backward. There's no other way but for the Most High to destroy this place, because people are so fucking far gone in their minds to where it's an entitlement thing. Like, these young people, they all think that they're entitled to not be offended. Like, oh, you're being hateful. you're offending me, you're hurting my feelings. When did people become such fucking what they call them, cream puffs, man? They've got no fucking no backbone.
Yeah.
They're so quick to be offended by everything, man. But the funny thing about this whole fact, bring out your piece when I say this, guy.
Right, so this is Isaiah chapter 1. He's talking about fat shaming, yeah?
Yeah.
You got these plus size, you know all about the plus size models and all of that stuff. That's,
You got plus size, but it's like I don't need to cut into you, but you got plus size, right? Where women are a little bit curvy, they're fine, you know. But I'm talking about women who are like, the gut is literally down to where their knees are. Right?
oh,
You know, and they have to have these fucking.
that's super obese.
Yeah, they have to have these things where they're
Oh
walking like
God,
that.
yeah, I've seen.
And you got people that are so fucking fat they say they haven't been out their house.
yeah.
2 years.
They got modified
Bloody
showers.
hell.
Yeah.
Showers. They can't even have a shower, but I have to have a shower room now.
Yeah,
Because the bath ain't enough, the shower ain't enough. They make the whole room.
yeah.
shower.
It's fucking ridiculous, man. You got people saying they haven't
Modified
left the house
beds.
in 2 years. There you go. And another one as well. There's this fat woman who's saying, "Oh, I had to get someone to help me cut my toenails because I was out of breath and trying to reach my feet."
Oh boy, no.
And she died. She was one of the fat. So like it. She's one of the fat.
What is this, a documentary?
No.
A series?
No, it's just. It's like.
So she's there, oh, out of breath trying to.
Right. What it is, let me break down what I'm saying. It's like it's funny. You got these people, right, who are on social media.
Stop it, bro. Stop it. Let me read the script. I'll read this precept. Let him calm down. Isaiah chapter 1 and 4. He's got this. Now he's got the
Oh
giggles.
gosh,
Giggles.
it's too funny.
You got it?
Yeah, go on.
All right. 4 says, "Oh, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward."
Right.
Yeah.
Let me bring this precept, right? Let me give it some context, right? Because it's a whole.
There's more. Yeah.
Go on.
5 says, "Why should you be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more, and the whole head is sick, and the whole heart is faint." Because when in the 90s or the 2000s, they were talking about plus size models, and we was kind of bowled over about that. We was like looking at that kind of side eye, and that was bad. Because you actually saw them on the catwalk walking, and you see the cellulite and all of that.
Yeah.
Tyra Banks started to introduce that because she weren't too bad. She had a little bit of,
She was a regular
shape.
model,
She had a little
yeah.
bit of shape, but then it started to get plus size. Now you're telling me about this.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of like, man, oh
Well,
man.
I saw a video this week actually, and it's showing you the disparity of how women were looked at in the early 2000s to now. And it was with Tyra. Remember, she had that show, America's Next Top Model.
Yeah.
You had a woman that was walking on the catwalk, and then you know like how like she obviously is part of the script, the screenplay. She had to be a bit like cursing them out for
Yeah.
entertainment.
Controversial, yeah.
Controversial. The woman was like a size like 14, like 12, 14. That's a slim woman.
Yeah.
Curvy. Like you said, you got thick women, which is perfectly fine,
Yeah.
and you got fucking fat. Man.
Yeah.
And then you got, as you said, morbidly obese. That's the two different things. But the woman was like a size 14, and then Tyra Banks was fat shaming her.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, compared that to today,
Yeah.
she's skinny.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
She's
exactly
skinny
it.
now. So that just shows you how far people have come. But as you were saying, Caleb, that feeds into the devil trying to make people fat. And
Yeah.
if you talk out against it, you're the demon.
There you go. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And you've got companies like, was it Nike and other companies?
Yeah.
They're paying these obese women to model their clothes now, which doesn't even make sense because the whole reason of wearing sports clothing is to exercise. But these people ain't running, they ain't walking, but they're paying these fat people because they want to promote that to your children now. So if the government doesn't get your children in the LGBTQ thing, they're going to get them in some other movement, and that's what this whole fat body, they call it body positivity movement, has been all about. Now, the reason why I was saying is these people are dropping dead is because Easel's been setting these people up by giving them platforms to promote this idea.
Right,
But the
so-
ironic thing now is that a lot of these people who are doing that, they're now dropping dead. So the precept to back that up, because a woman who couldn't cut her own toenails, who's out of breath, she says, "Oh, I had to get someone to cut my toenails because I was getting out of breath just trying to bend over to my feet." She dropped dead after she made that video. So the Most High is not mocked.
You know how
That's
sad
right,
that
that's
is?
right.
When a person, even when the person dies, modified coffins, modified grave plots. Imagine that, you're so fat, they
Yeah.
have to give you a bigger plot.
Yeah. But this is the thing, and that's touches on another point. A lot of these fat body positivity people, now they're saying that the society discriminates them because when they try and go on airplanes, they can't fit on the seats. Or when they go to the cinema, they can't fit in the seats. So they're saying that, oh, well, you know, they're discriminating against us because we're fat. And if you tell us to lose weight, you're being hateful. You're using hate speech.
Well, sorry, you bring your precept, man.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of fucking life or death. A couple of months ago, they had it with, forget the airline, but basically they'd overbooked. And they said to people, it's on the airline, we will pay for your hotel to stay here, right? And rebook you on another flight, but we can't take all of you. So some people had to get off. Now the pilots had to go through weight categories, and they got offended at that. And it's like, hold on a second, it's fucking it's mathematics and physics, man.
Yeah.
You don't just take off a plane on hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
They have to calculate the fuel. They don't into aviation.
Yeah, yeah.
They have to calculate the weight of the fuel.
Yeah.
They have to calculate the weight of the aircraft. They have to calculate the weight of the people.
And
There's
the
a
luggage.
maximum weight.
Yeah.
And then, bro, the plane ain't taking off if it's above maximum weight.
Yeah.
You run out of runway and you crash.
Yeah.
So they started telling people, oh, look, man, how much do you weigh, brother?
Yeah.
How much do you weigh? And they went by sight, obviously.
Yeah.
Hey, you're a bit heavy. How about you stay? And they got offended.
Yes.
Why are you offended for? You're fucking fat.
There you go. And that's the other thing as well. They said that the medical system discriminates against fat people because doctors ask people to step on the scale when they go into the surgery. So basically they're trying, this is the entitlement thing. A lot of young people today, they feel like they're just entitled. That nobody can tell them, look, you know what, man, you're not beautiful. You know what? Maybe you do need to lose weight. So let me bring this out, right? This is Isaiah 5:20. It says, "Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil, that put darkness for light, and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet, and sweet for bitter." So this is the whole turning of things upside down. But Esau will appeal to these people's emotions because we're living in an age where people are so fucking hypersensitive and so emotional that they just think they're entitled to have their way. And it's like when you've got a society that's this far gone, that's this far backwards where any type of speech of any kind of truth is seen as hateful, where do you really go from here? I mean, how can you have a society that functions when the truth is so evil spoken of? You got a piece of
Yeah, you quoted it. I'm
Go
going
on.
to read it. Isaiah 29:16 says, "Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding?" Because you're talking about obesity, right?
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, I done a video on you know, those bodybuilders, Body Beautiful and all that, right? And most of them are dropping dead, right?
Yeah.
This is like a Most High just said in a holy judgment. And body mass, it's actually when you break it down, bodybuilding and all that, and the weight and the size, it's actually obesity. It's the same thing. It's actually obesity. And when they drop dead, I've got now we're giving out a little bit of information for free, which we already read a little bit about the parasites, which we're giving out information. If people want to take it, it's free, man. You know, because it's actually you're getting free good information here, right? Now, in large heart, because that's what they're dropping dead of. And it's the same with obesity. Fat people, they usually die of this.
Because their heart has to work harder to pump the blood around their body, right?
That's it, exactly it.
So like, just before you go into that, but that's another reason why I'm saying that the shot is two hit combo, man. Them being morbidly obese,
Yeah.
and then them taking this clot shot, that's killing these people off, man.
Yep.
There you go. Bring it up.
Yeah, because the body is craving for food. It's actually dehydrated. What's the other word? When you malnourished and dehydrated. So this is the problem, man. Enlarged heart symptoms, breathing problems, shortness of breath, dizziness, irregular heartbeat, heart palpitation, fluid retention, right? So those are the, if you if you're getting this for free, right? If you want a diagnosis, yeah, how serious is having an enlarged heart? Depending on the course of the enlarged heart, it may or may not be.
You gotta be careful with that, you know, medical misinformation. And,
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Them man will
Even when
start-
I'm reading it from.
Yeah, just like say code words in it, cause
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
let me just say this then.
yeah.
Enlarged heart may or may not be reversible over time, or enlarged heart can cause serious heart problems. Most notably, it can. What did you say? Most notably, it can increase the risk of sudden death. In addition, it can cause fluid to build up in the body and lungs, which can lead to heart failure. I just read it word for word.
But the woman who had the degree in fat studies, she tried to come out saying, but but you know the science is wrong. There's no direct correlation between obesity and health issues. So they're trying to it's like them people who come on TV talk about, oh, gender's not assigned at birth. It's the same kind of principle. They're trying to undo the science of it, saying that there's no link between being fat and heart failure. Well, guess what happened to her? Her ass dropped dead, man. She died in her sleep.
Yep.
You got one.
Yeah,
go on.
this is Isaiah chapter 3. I'll start from verse 16. Moreover, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing, and you break it down, as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will discover their secret parts. In that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, about their poles, and their round tires.
Yeah,
like
the big
moon.
guts.
Oh, damn. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs, the foot chains, ankle chains, and the hand and the headbands, and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink.
Right, pause there. Instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. Not to get too graphic, but basically, when a woman deals with more than one man, she starts to become she becomes polluted. There's number one. She becomes polluted essentially. So what happens is because of all the not to get too graphic, but when she takes more than one man's seed, you know that seed is up in her, and it's clashing, and it causes a stench. So it's like there's certain women where, look, man, it's hard to talk about this thing without getting graphic, but like literally just them dropping their trousers causes the whole room to stink, man. So I'm not going to get too graphic. We'll leave that there. Keep reading.
And it says, instead of a girdle, a rent.
Right. So instead of a girdle, because a girdle's what like a corset type of thing, which women would wear to keep them in shape. Now instead of that, and this is predominantly talking about the women of Judah, which is the head tribe of the nation of Israel, because they were the most haughty. But obviously Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, they've inherited these curses the most. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi have inherited these curses the most. Shalom. Keep reading.
And it says, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, boldness.
Right, so that's why a lot of the Judah, Benjamin, Levite women have to go up into these Elamite hair shops, man. And then we could do even a whole lesson on this, where they're going up into these shops to buy this hair, which really has been sacrificed unto idols. Because those women in them countries, when they cut their hair, they're actually cutting it off as a sacrifice to their deities. Then they're bagging that shit up, and sometimes they're not even getting it from their women. Sometimes they're actually robbing graves. You know, people who've just died, they'll go in the graveyard, exhume the corpse, cut the hair off, take it, bring it over here, and sell it to you nigger women.
Like, nigger bitch.
Yeah.
So
So
they very nice, you know, very nice.
and you got these nigger women who are talking about like they don't want to step out in the rain, or you know they've got to put these bags over their heads when they go in the shower because they can't have the
Shower
weave
cap.
get wet.
Shower
Yeah,
cap.
yeah. Carry on.
And it says, I'll read that line again. And instead of well set hair, boldness.
Look at Jada Stinkit.
Oh boy.
That whole thing where Will Smith got angry and clapped what is it, Chris Rock? Why is Jada Pinkett have a bald head? Because she's a Judite woman under them curses, man. And she's a fucking wicked ass demon. So it's no surprise that the Most High took the baldness of her head. And when she did get her hair back, what did she do with it? Yeah. Inside out. Yeah, when she did get a little bit of hair back, what did she do with it? She goes and dyes it platinum blonde.
And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty.
Right, now this is burning instead of beauty, man.
You're ugly.
Yeah. I mean, like, the way I visualize it is this way, right? Imagine you're cooking the chicken, right? Imagine you're cooking the chicken and you're cooking it, you're thinking, yeah, I want to cook this nice dinner, right? You put it in the oven and you forget about it, right? And you pull it out and it's all burnt and crispy, like, oh, I can't eat that. That's the kind of psychological impact it has when you see a really ugly ass woman, man. And a lot of our women are ugly. And if they aren't ugly on the outside, they're wicked on the inside.
Right. And it's not, to just back you up, brother, it's not saying, because you mentioned Judah Benjamin Lee, it's not every single Judah.
No, it's
Because
not.
some Judah women, they're fine as fuck. You know, some of them got long flowing, bouncy, natural hair, man. You know, they put the weave in, but then when they take out the weave, it's like, oh baby,
Yeah.
why you wear weave? Your natural hair is long, it's beautiful, man. But for the majority of them, some of them, they got the bold shit going on, man.
Yeah.
That's why they try to slip down the edges.
Yeah.
You know, and they get the glue from the same
Yeah.
Elamite, they'll get hair glue. And then when the glue goes hard, it becomes flaky.
Yeah, crusty,
Make
yeah.
it look like they got dandruff in their hair.
Yeah.
They got white scalp now, talking about my edges. No, you a bold ass bitch, man. Just call a spade a spade.
A lot of the times though, you've got to see that because of the culture of putting their hair on in the first place, that
Yeah.
brings about the curse. So they've got good hair in the first
Yeah.
place,
Yeah.
then they ruin it
Ruin
by,
it,
by
yeah, that's
copying
right.
all these other nigger women putting their hair on. So thereby it brings about the curses anyway.
Let me read that last line again for you.
Go ahead.
And it says, Isaiah 3, I'll read the verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of well set hair, baldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty.
Right. Now, check this out, right? Going back to what I was saying and tying this in, there was another fat influencer, right? Who was morbidly obese. And she went to a nail salon to get her nails done or some shit, right? But apparently the story is that when she went in the salon, she sat on the chair and the chair broke. So the people in the salon were like, nah, you can't come here anymore because, you know, you're too overweight. So then she went away and she set up her own beauty salon, especially for morbidly obese women. So she set up this little business. She had a little TV show, like, you know, it's reality TV shows. But she even, right, she got to a point where she's like, you know what, man, I'm tired of living like this. I want to try and lose some weight. And she lost some weight, but guess what? She still dropped dead the Most High killed her. So that's another fat influencer who is, once upon a time was saying, yeah, you can be big and beautiful and you got to be positive and nobody can say shit. She dropped dead as well.
Another, shut up, bro.
Go ahead.
To add to your point, you got me started now. Another reason why women are fat is because they have no home skills. When you look at the ancient world women, they're fucking busy, man. Alright? Cooking is not, there ain't no Sainsbury's or Tesco in ancient world, man. Maybe the man would go and hunt, but when it came to skinning and cleaning and seasoning, and that's an all-day job.
Yeah.
Who was doing that? Women.
Women.
Yeah, looking after the babies. You got to change nappies. You got to pick them up. You got to put them down. That's a fucking workout.
Yeah.
You got babies are heavy, man. You know, you got to you can't. You got to clean the house. When you look at the job role of an ancient world wife, it's a very labor-intensive job. So naturally, they were beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, naturally they were in shape because their daily activities kept them in shape, man.
Yep.
All right. You had women that when like you said, she couldn't even bend over to cut her toenails. You had women in the ancient world that when they saw a man, they would just get on the floor and prostrate. That takes physical agility. You
Yeah.
can't just getting down real
Abigail
quick.
did that.
I mean, Tawadas, that's the spirit. When she saw David coming out, David was coming on crud. So she was already wise, like, yo, let me just appease my man, innit? But when she saw David coming, what did she do? She jumped off the arse and prostrated.
Yeah.
Ain't no fucking obese woman jump. The arse would be dead.
Yeah, the arse is already dead, yeah.
You know, the arse is fucked, bro. Pause. That sounds
Yeah.
weird, but you know what I mean. That donkey. I'm saying like that. The donkey's fucked. All right. Look, man. Even pregnant women, bro. Imagine Mary being a fat woman on a donkey. She rode
Yeah.
a donkey.
Yeah.
What if she was obese, man?
Yeah.
Why the hell did Joseph fuck her before the original wedding day? She was fine.
There you go.
She wasn't no fucking obese woman, man. The ancient world woman is totally different. And as I said, it goes back to them having chores. Today, it's all about what do you bring to the table. Nigga, I am the table.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You need to show me what you've got.
Yeah.
What did they come do? You tell me, maybe I don't know. What did they do, brothers?
That's the answer for those that don't have an answer. That's why they say they are the table, man.
I am
They don't
the
have
table.
anything. There's no skills. They don't have to cook.
You know?
They don't have to clean. You know what I mean? They don't have to raise the children. They don't know what their role is. They don't know what their job is anymore.
Cool. Let me just say so we get that piece of. I've got one as well. But I was just gonna say, just before you bring that out, there was another woman who was fat and overweight, and I think she was a stripper or a dancer or something, right? And she was complaining that, oh yeah, but there's a lot of people that are fat phobic because there's other dancers who are slimmer than me and they make more money than me. So basically she's saying, oh, it's unfair, you know, every woman should be making the same amount of money. But bitch, you're fat, man. You're fat and you're ugly, and you're complaining that the women that are in shape, you're complaining that the women that are in shape are making more money than you, but you don't want to do anything to lose weight to become more attractive to more men. So this is the whole. We live in an age of entitlement where everybody thinks that, oh, I can just be whatever I want, and everybody's got to accept it, and nobody can say shit. And if they do say shit, they're hateful. Slap, we'll just get our yard, then we'll get yours.
Yeah, so Rock 30 and 21 says, you're talking about, I am the table? I'm still trying to work that one out.
Because you know, like when you say to a woman, like, so, like, baby, what do you bring to the table? You know, can you cook? Can you clean? You know, can you whatever? What skills do they have?
Right.
Then they say, I am the table, as in, like, I don't bring any skills. Me by myself is the prize. It's like, well, no, you need to have some skill set. You know what I mean?
All right, Sirach 30 and 21 says, give not over thy mind to heaviness and afflict not thyself in thy own counsel. Man, that's what you call sitting on pride, a pride bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah. 22, the gladness of the heart is the life of man, and the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his life, prolongeth his days. Man, don't get anyway, man. I'm going to pass it back to you. I'm just going to read this. Yeah. 23. Love thine own soul and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow from far from thee, for sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein. 2 more, yeah?
Yeah, break it down as well.
So move sorrow from your heart, man. Getting bogged down. Again, if you be around too much negativity, you're gonna get. Social media is really the modern day. Used to be the women's magazines, and even before that, you had the apple. You had the fruit of knowledge, which was a symbolic tree. What Eve just kept looking at and looking at and looking at. She couldn't resist it, and she ended up taking it. So that's love thine own soul and comfort thine own heart. Remove sorrow from thee, for sorrow have killed many, and there is no profit. So yeah, I was talking about social media. That's the modern day temptation now, the tree of knowledge.
Yeah.
So they're bogged down now, as you mentioned, watching social media and trying to be what they call it. What's that woman? The new woman now. The late used to be the modern woman, the 90s woman. Then it was a modern woman. Then it was there's another one now. Kevin, it might come back to me, but let me finish reading. I'm a baller. That's it. Like I'm a baller, but there's a female version now of a baller.
Boss bitch.
Boss bitch on the social media. That's what they're pushing now. Yeah. 24. Envy and wrath shorten the life, and carefulness bringeth age before thy time. Man, envy, man. Boss bitch. Want to be like Cardi B.
Oh shit, man.
What's that? Sexy Red. And there's only for new ones out now. Nicki Minaj, and there's a new few of them, new generation of all those boss bitches.
Next level.
I'll tell you what, I will get more pleasure out of deleting them than doing anything else with them. Yeah, I only get pleasure at deleting them.
But let's not forget as well, they're in an industry where them JOOs are running things, and they're pushing that vibration.
Yeah. That's the vibration. One more, then I'll pass it to you. Yeah. 25. A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet.
Oh, there you go. That's beautiful. So, like, let me just make this point. There's another woman who, because Esau's setting up these certain fat celebrities. So there's this one fat bitch. I think her name's Tess Daly, right? And there was a video of her.
No, Tess Daly, I know who that is. She's not fat. That's a blonde woman. She's not fat. She's in shape. Edomite.
Well, if you
No, well, there's only one Tess Daly I've heard of. That's what I'm saying.
I believe it's her. If you think she's in shape, then you and me are gonna have a little bit of an issue because.
Well, last I saw her.
All right. Look her up if you don't mind. If you got
Look her up.
You got to fact check that, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that's her name. Test the images. No, that's not her. That's not the one.
How do you spell that one?
I'm not sure. Her name is Tess something, so I might be wrong. But either way, it's not the one who you're thinking of, and that's a good thing. Because the one I'm talking about, she's got ginger hair, and she's just obese, man. And she was in her house, and she was cooking up some shit, some
Test
like.
holiday.
Thank you, Tess Holiday.
Show the camera, let me see. Bubble shot.
Fuck off, man. I just looked.
Hold on, let me put this one. Yeah, that's the one. Put it on this one so that you can see it.
What the fuck is that, bro?
So that's the image not to be like, man.
Jeez.
We're not pushing that shit.
But hold on, let me just put the camera back on, then I'll resume talking. Yeah.
Test holiday.
If any of you guys got a precept, go ahead.
I got
Yeah.
one. I got one.
I heard one actually.
Yeah. Hey, Amor, you can break this down.
You
You
go.
go, you fat people, man. Proverbs chapter 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, man. These
So let's turn the
these
screen
women
back on. It's
out
144.
here are full of pride, man.
shit.
Prideful.
Hey,
They're so gassed up that they think that, you know, they're the prize these days, man.
Open the car.
You know, they're walking around, as a brother was saying, it's Tess Holiday.
Shalom.
More
It's like I
than
didn't
your
realize
feet.
this.
talking
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Bashu Shabbat.
But they're pretending like, you know, I saw a podcast and this woman, she's about the same size as Tess Holiday. And the man's on the podcast getting the girls to rate themselves out of 10. And this fat, I think she's ginger as well, gave herself an 8.5. And then there's women that are in better shape and better looking than her, giving themselves 6s. You know what I mean? They're using their brains about it. They're not really. But the thing is, these women are gassed now. So their thing is this: everyone's a 10. We're all 10s in our minds.
Yeah.
But that's not a reality, man. It's all in your mental. You can say what you want to say. I can say I'm a banana, but it doesn't make it true. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? So these women are, they're what's the word? They're delusional.
But this is the thing. For what? So lucky the camera got cut off because the battery died, but we're back now. So yeah, this woman Tess Daly, right? Because Esau's setting up these certain obese women, right? He sets them up, and he gets them on magazine covers like Cosmopolitan, or you know these other women's magazines. Now there was a video of her in her house, right? And she was cooking up some bullshit, some madness, like some cupcakes or some shit. And she goes, "There's a few words that I don't allow in my home." And one of those is healthy. So it's like, this is someone who Esau's paying to promote obesity. And now a lot of young women, like, you know, young girls, they're kind of impressionable, they don't know, but they're hearing all this shit about, oh, well, I can just be as I am, I should just love myself, and I can be positive, and everyone else should be positive about me too. So that's how these young people, they're becoming so entitled now to where they think that the world owes them something, and they're not prepared to put in any time, effort, or work to improve themselves. And it's a ridiculous situation. As I said, how can this be fixed? The only remedy for this place is for it to be destroyed, essentially. Now, I want to touch upon something that Uramia said about ancient women were of a different caliber, and this whole obesity thing, it's a very modern concept, right? Because women in this day and age, they don't even know what their role is. So Proverbs 31 gives you what a woman should be about, right? It says, Proverbs 31, starting at verse 10, says, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that she have no need of spoil. She will do good to him, it's lucky, she will do him good and evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships, she bringeth her food from afar." So those merchant ships, they'd be going on long journeys, like, what is it, King Solomon, he'd send the ships to Arsareth, which is now America, to get certain things like spices, was it peacocks, things like that. Those merchant ships would be traveling afar, you know. So now these days women are very lazy. They're not going to go too far to please their man or to work for their man because they've become entitled. Now they think they're the table. They think that the man has to bring everything to serve them. Oh man, it's like you mentioned these women who are rating themselves 8s and 10s when really they're fucking 1.5s and 2s. It's all these delusions. Look, man, Esau's been a master of selling delusions and illusions to people. Esau's essentially telling you, yeah, man, just live an easy life. But what did the scriptures say about a woman who is at ease? Rise up, you women that are at ease. You know, for the gathering shall not come. So yeah, man, these women are gonna have a rude awakening because these women that are the size of Test Daily, they're getting smoke blown up their arse now. They're getting paid to do what they're doing. But the ironic thing is that when this society crumbles, what man's gonna want to be dealing with some fucking behemoth of a woman, man? You know what I mean? It's like, what did the scripture say in that day? 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying we will eat our own bread and make our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name.
Well, brother, cannibalism coming back.
Oh,
So these fat women, they're just going to be food for people that resort to eating humans. That's the reality for them. You staying fat and obese is going to make you a dinner for someone.
Can't.
That's it.
I've got something here.
You know, one guy may last a week, but like a family of 7. You know what I mean? That's what you're going to be, food, man.
That's a good. It's a grim thought, but that's the reality of it, man. Because they ain't going to be able to outrun anybody. They can't fucking take 3 steps without being out of breath. The woman couldn't even bend over to cut her toenails without being out of breath. How are you going to run, man? It's like you got one.
Yeah, because you're talking about how they think they're the prize, right? This is Lamentations 4:2, and obviously this is going into the second Jerusalem, but you know it has context. It says the precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold. How are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter? So it says we're comparable to fine gold, man. So that's telling you in itself that the man is the prize. The Israelite man is not every man. The Israelite man is the prize, man. And verse 3 says, even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel like the ostriches in the wilderness. And you was talking about, what's that, Sexy Red? There's another one that she's always rapping. I can't remember her name. But she's been on social media taking them fucking Plan Bs and shit. So these bitches are out here just getting knocked up left, right and centre, just relying on Esau's pharmaceuticals to just do away with these men's seeds, man. So not only are they haughty, they've become wicked and cruel, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
To the highest degree. I mean, I've seen a lot of things, man. But when you watch these bitches' videos, these music videos, it's disgusting.
It makes you ashamed that they're of the same nation.
Yeah.
Like once they had that one, is it Sukiana? She came over to England.
Oh, yeah,
Well, who was the one
that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, she came over
That's
to
the one I'm
England,
talking about.
and she was, you know, that she was in front of Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
You know them Edomites, they go there to, you know, inspect the palace and all that. They're into this bullshit, and she's up there with like these 2 older Edomite women with the other black bitch and the one recording saying, "I want my coochie scratched, I want my ass ate." And you got these white women just looking at them like, you
What the
fucking
fuck,
monkey
dude?
that escaped the zoo.
Yeah.
But they're just out there
That's-
bullshitting. Then she made another song, something to do with I don't want to have his kids, so I swallowed them, and all kind of vulgar shit, man. I did a video on it a couple of months ago. You got black women holding fuck classes in dance studios, literally, where you know, like, it's all bullshit anyway. But let's say you're gonna have a child here, and you don't know how to do parenting classes. You know, with the couple. This is how you birth the baby.
Yeah.
But they're doing that for sex. So you got a black woman with a strap on, showing women what position to assume and how to. And it's like, what the hell, man? What happened to the marriage bed being undefiled?
Yeah.
What happened to secrecy, man?
There you go.
No other nation is doing sex classes where you got black bitches in some dance studio, sprawling it out, learning how to have sex properly. It's ridiculous.
Fucking ridiculous, man. That's why
You gotta die, man.
That's why the other nations look down and mock us, man. Look down at us and mock us. They don't see us as the children of the Most High. But again, everything has to play out because we've got to be the we've got to be the underdog right now. We've got to be the ones that everybody thinks, nah, them people, they'll never rise up. They're just niggas, you know. But let me bring out this one quickly. And
Got one after you.
Yeah, go on. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 57, because you're talking about cannibalism, right? It says, let me start from 56, right? 28, 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, who should not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter, and towards her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and towards her children which she shall bear, because this is talking about 70 AD, but it's going to come back again. For she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith the enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. So if they were eating their own children, man, you best believe that cannibalism is going to come back in the times to come. Now, do you have one, Arya?
Yeah, this is Ezekiel 30. It's funny because last night I was thinking about this, man. It's funny anyway. I'll bring it out anyway. Ezekiel 34 and 31 says, and yeah, the flock of my pasture are men. I am your God, saith the Lord God. Because you made the point earlier that women today, even more so today because of the social media, very impressionable. So they're the weaker vessel. So because they're not under a man, or they don't want to be under a man, that's why they're open to all the it's like a plague that's out there, all the
Feminism.
feminism that's out there. They're open because I remember when I grew up, it was anorexia, which
I wanted to get on
that woman, what's her name? What's that black supermodel name again? It was in the back of my head. Naomi Campbell. She was very skinny, right? And then you had all these Edomite ones, all skinny and some of them had it. Anorexia. It's so bad. If you look up the word anorexia, it's when you think that you're fat.
Yeah.
Extremely fat when you're very, very slim. So it's a sickness. It's a medical condition.
Yeah.
So it went from
And it forced herself to vomit.
and they forced themselves to vomit. They put themselves down the fingers to force themselves to vomit. So it went from slim supermodel, anorexia, then slim, then looking like a cokehead.
Yeah.
Then it went to voluptuous. What's that woman? Naomi Campbell. Then it went to voluptuous, which is a little bit kind of coca, little bit of shape. Yeah. Then kind of BB. Now super obese.
Yeah.
That's where you at. That's what you mentioned.
No one was selective. I just wanted to say, no one was gassing up them women when they were anorexic, saying, "Yeah, it's okay to look like that," because that was recognised as an illness.
Yeah.
Not like they're trying to show this obesity as something to be, proud of and praised for.
Well, that's exactly what I wanted to touch upon, because with the anorexia thing, I remember there's a particular singer. She was in the group The Carpenters. The singer, her name was Karen Carpenter, and through the spirit, she looks like an Edomite, but I believe she's a Jake. If you guys want to do the research, the reason why I say she's a Jake, because she's one of the few musicians that can actually sing and play the drums at the same time. And that's not a light thing, man. Very few people could do that. Like, for example, Phil Collins. Some of the top drummers could do that, but the shit she was doing, it was just out there, right? But anyway, she was singing the group called The Carpenters, and she had that anorexia thing, right?
Yeah.
And she actually died of it. And if you look at the pictures of her, she actually looked, like a regular woman, but towards the end of her life, she looked all skeletal. Like, you could see the cheekbones were very pronounced. She just looked drawn and gaunt, and she died. Now, they'll say that you can't. Young girls need to be protected from images of supermodels that are too thin, because they might start trying to emulate that anorexia thing by making themselves vomit. But there's nobody saying, look, hang on a minute, by us putting these morbidly obese women on the covers, that's also having the same impact on the other end of the scale, where girls think they can eat whatever they want and there's no consequences health-wise.
I was going to say, there is people saying against it, but it's called hate speech.
No, it's called fat phobia.
Yeah, so you can't talk about that.
Everything
that's against what they want you to go along with. If you're going against it, it's hate speech.
Now it's fat phobia.
And you're phobia.
Now there's another thing I wanted to mention in light of this, right? I saw this shit, right? Because every year, for however long it's been going, I can't remember, but it's been going on a while. You got this women's lingerie company called Victoria's Secret, right? And every year they would do the Victoria's Secret fashion show. where they get these really, really attractive supermodels to model the underwear, and they'd walk down the catwalk and they'd wear like these butterfly or angel type wings, and it was a big thing. You know, people watch it. You know, they show their lingerie, but they tried to get, they call it woke, where they were saying that, oh, we've got to be more. We can't keep promoting these beautiful women. We have to show more realistic images. So what they did is they said, the company Victoria's Secret said, we're no longer going to do this fashion show. We're going to change the format. So what they did is they started getting people in wheelchairs and crutches to come down the catwalk, and you got these fucking disabled people, like, you know, like Stephen Hawking's, where he's in a wheelchair and he couldn't move, right?
Cabbage.
You got women in that type of condition scooting along the runway wearing this stupid lingerie, and they're coming down the runway, and you got lines of them, and some of them can't even walk. They got crutches and shit, and they're coming down the runway. It looks ridiculous. But the funniest thing about it, right, is there's one of them in a wheelchair, and actually, you know how the fashion, the women will walk and they'll get to the end and they'll turn around and they'll flip their hair. She was in a wheelchair and she came down and then she doesn't flick her hair and go back. I'm thinking, what the hell, man? Nobody wants to see this. Right. So basically, my point is that the ratings plummeted, and they've had to totally scrap that format, and now they've gone back to using the regular models. But it goes back to my point where these women, right? Like, let's put it this way: if you're in a fucking wheelchair, really you should be humble. Like, you know, you got to consider, hang on a minute, why am I in this condition? Is it something I did in my past life? Or maybe it's a case where maybe I'm innocent and Yahweh's going to come and he's going to use my sickness to heal me. But they're not thinking that, man. And it's like, you were saying, like, these fat women, when they were asked how they'd rate themselves on scale of 1 to 10, and they're saying they're 8.5. These women who are completely mashed up, they're cursed beyond all hell, in wheelchairs, and you had one of them that didn't even have any legs, and it was like going along like this on a runway, and they're still proud. I'm like, how the hell can you be proud when you're in that condition, man? And it goes back to my point of showing that, look, man, this world just has to be destroyed, because how do you redeem a place like this? Go on, bring a precept, go on.
It says, Isaiah 32:7 says, the instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right.
Read it again, man.
The instruments of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words.
Right, so Esau's using these lying words because basically, again, these people are being paid to promote these things to essentially your children, to promote transgenderism, to promote LGBTQ, to promote basically eating disorders, because you've got two sides of the spectrum. You've got the eating disorder that I mentioned, anorexia, but on the other side of that, you got what was it? How do you call it? Gluttony.
Yeah.
Just excessive overeating. Yeah. And some of these people, man, they put videos about what I eat in a day, and I mean, some of them, they eat more in a day than I'd eat in a fucking week, man. It's fucking ridiculous.
Can I say something, Caleb? You know something? They always push, as you said, it's always everything against the Bible. Look at the same model. They even push that one with the leprosy.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, even her too.
Yeah, they're pushing that now.
They're pushing that with leprosy. You see, so man, everything against the scriptures. You see what I'm saying?
It's just a very, very sad time to be alive, man. It's to the point where you don't even want to.
Sorry
No, you didn't cut. No, that's a good point you made there, because I saw that one as well. They'll be getting these people with. They're clearly jakes with leprosy, and they're putting them as if they're fashion models now. I mean, it's just a sick world, man. It's a very, very sick world. What did the scripture say? The earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Go on.
This is verse 8. It says, but the liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand.
Go on.
So, yeah, and that's what it's about. It's liberal behaviour, man. You can do what you want, be who you want to be. Do what thou wilt.
That should be the whole of the law.
So that is the vibration that he's pushing. That's why he's got these obese people call themselves tens. Women, that Clarissa Shields. This bitch is talking about she thinks she can take out the other heavyweight men in the
she got dropped, didn't she?
God, yeah.
She got dropped by a sparring partner,
man.
Yeah, she got dropped, so she wanted
Yeah,
to
she
go
got
to
knocked.
as well.
She already got dropped already, and she went because I saw that on one of the what's that guy OJ Dude Jackson.
Jackson.
He brought that out
Oh,
that
shake
she
it,
wants to
yeah.
take on men. That just shows that she's got demons on her, man.
Listen,
You know?
man.
And she's pushing that feminism too. That's the feminism.
I
demon.
pray to see her humble, man.
She will be.
was humble.
She's already been humble, but she
No, in the ring.
properly. Now in the ring,
Properly.
in the MMA, a woman strangled her and beat her in the ring, because she thought she was gonna go to. She's undefeated in the boxing ring at the moment.
Didn't she
right?
win the MMA fight, though?
No,
How many did she have?
She won one and she
Right,
lost
right,
one.
right.
So she's been humble, but you know, stubborn heads, man. You
Learn
know,
hard.
They're hard, man.
Yeah, she's very, very
She
massive.
really
Very
got knocked down in a ring because she was saying that I fight men and this that, and she went into the ring and she got knocked out and when she got knocked out her trainer said you know and she tried to go to the car and get a knife. She said
She
she's not
said
right
that
in the
out
head,
of
you
her
know.
mouth. No,
she's not
she's
right
not.
in the head, man. She will be humbled though, 100%.
Well,
So,
yeah, okay, I was gonna say, that reminds me of a few years back, 2015, whatever. There was that woman who was getting all the push, Ronda Rousey in, what do they call that?
UFC.
MMA, UFC. She was getting all the
Killing
push,
Holmes, isn't it?
and she was going around talking about how she'll beat any man.
Yeah.
I'll beat Floyd Mayweather. I'll beat any man in front of me. And what did the Most High do? The Most High humbled her ass, by she got fucked up in the ring by was it Holly Holm,
yeah.
and she got beat badly.
She got
Like-
smashed.
Do you know, I enjoyed every ounce of that beating. But then she tried to make a comeback.
She wasn't even humble pre-fight, so you know when they go up to each
Yeah.
other before the fight, she didn't want to touch gloves or nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
And she paid for that. She paid for that.
Did the scripture say pride goeth before destruction? Yeah.
Anyway, I've got more here. Verse 9, Isaiah 32:9 says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come." So we're coming into the times now, as Brother Yeremi was saying, that a lot of these women they're in danger, man, especially these obese ones. They're going to be looked upon as prey, man. And they're going to be looked upon as prey. These cannibals, they're going to be cannibalism. I saw a little video on this guy, this Edomite. It looked like an Edomite. He was talking about how, when everything collapses and that, and there's no food and that, people are going to start that civility that you think people have is going to go out the window, man. And people are going to start eating people when there's nothing else to eat. Simple as. You're going to be looking at like them old cartoons where where the wolf's looking at something and it turns into a chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know
Like
the
they're so
old-
hungry.
Yeah, they're so hungry and they're seeing things.
Like it's a log, but it looks
Yeah,
like chicken.
it looks
to
like
them.
chicken. That's what it's going to be like for these women, man. They're going to get yam up out here, man.
Well, this is the interesting thing, man, because this place is right, R-I-P-E, for destruction. This is Proverbs 16, verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. So bringing it back to this guy from ROI talking this shit about how he's got 2 hams and all this kind of rubbish, he's not doing anything new. Because the reason for me going into that whole thing about the obese women eating shit and making social media videos about it, that's exactly what that guy from that congregation is doing. He's thinking he's making sport. Oh yeah, well look what I'm eating, yeah, blah 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 blah. But there's a lot of people who have dropped dead in the past year for doing the exact same shit.
Yeah.
How much more him when he's trying to incorporate the name of the Lord with what he's doing, and talking about how he blesses the pork through prayer. Well, why didn't Eliezer do that? When they had Eliezer hemmed up and he was about to be put to death, why did he not just say, "Oh well, I sanctified the pork through prayer and it's fine"? Because it wasn't fine, and he knew. Let's get the account. Does someone get the account of Eliezer? Should I send the Maccabees? I think Maccabees' second one. Try and find it for you.
Yeah, he's a fucking demon and the Lord's gonna kill him. End of story. You know what I'm saying? You make a joke about people but let's get serious, man. Fuck, what's the group ROI?
Reprobates of Israel.
Yeah, fuck them and just wait for their destruction.
And a quick precept on that is,
Wait for their destruction. Because hold on a second. When he dies now, as the elder apostle Tahar said, the guys following him, you can see them in the room. They're all zombies, man.
Yeah.
So when he dies, what are they gonna do? They're gonna call it Yahushua Day and celebrate his funeral and eat more pork. So fuck them, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stand for truth, man.
Yep.
Stand for truth, man. You're gonna get that account. Then you got the 7 sons and the mother.
Yeah, they all got tormented.
They got tormented, man. But they said they're gonna stand for their belief, man.
Okay.
And here, that guy's probably a fucking agent, man.
Got Maccabees
That
7.
stupid nigga, man. How dare you go up there and you know what? Now I'm not even angry. It's just the spirit, man. But
So,
fuck that, man. The scripture says, they who lay down their life to the death, man.
Yeah.
You know, here it is, you're on a camera talking about sanctified by the word of God in prayer. Well, what the fuck does the word of God say about meats, man? And you're up there with, you know, get the juice on the lens.
Yeah.
I get the first cut.
Yeah, and he says, I get first taste. Yeah, he's gonna get the first taste, but first taste will miss
First
out.
taste of death.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got something quickly. Leviticus 11:45. It says, "For I am the Lord that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt to be your power. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. This is the law of the beasts, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beasts that may be eaten and the beasts that may not be eaten." So that law has already been, that law is in effect, and it hasn't changed, man, according to Matthew 5:17. So you can't make, the scripture tells you can't make an unclean thing clean, man. You can't do that. The Lord has made it that way. There's no amount of prayers, even if you're calling on the names, it's going to cleanse that filthy, abominable meat. Go on.
Real quick, man. This is Sirach chapter 38 and 9. My son, in thy sickness, be not negligent, but pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole. This guy's on fucking dialysis 3 times a week, and he's still not learning, man. It's right there. My son, in thy sickness, be not negligent. He should be looking out for how the hell can I get better, man?
Yeah.
Rather he's on the camera blaspheming the holy scriptures, stuffing his face with ham.
Yep.
But pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole. Instead of him praying for his restoration of health, he's praying over fucking abominable meats.
To keep eating what he wants to
Stupid
eat.
nigga, man. That's all he is. As Ariel was saying, them parasites are actually demons.
Yep.
It's a cry for help indeed, and he's just taken over by demons in food, man.
Yeah.
How dumb can you be? You have to go and get your blood drawn out 3 times a fucking week,
Which
and you're
is
still
off.
eating pork, man. That's off in itself.
And you notice something? He's calling us niggers too. Because he's saying that how
Niggas and Pharisees.
the Pharisees,
Demons, that's the demons,
you see?
man.
And he's calling,
That's
he's
the parasite
he's
called.
referring to us too,
Yeah.
because he knows that we tried to correct him.
Yeah.
Derek said,
Yeah.
"Boy, you're going off." You know what I mean? And he's put it in your face, eating it. Goes, "Oh, this is the first one for me."
Yeah.
So and he's got, "This is for you niggers."
And the scripture says, don't call the unclean thing clean and the clean thing unclean.
That's what the brother
Right?
just said.
But then he's saying it's sanctified, which means what? To be made clean or holy by the word of God in prayer. So he's directly going against the scriptures, man. What the Lord clearly said is unclean. Don't even touch his carcass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got it up there in the tray with the rest of the food,
Yeah.
fucking cutting it up.
The same knife he's using to cut that pork is probably the same knife he's using to cut the other meats, which might have been clean, but now contaminated. Now, check this one out. This is Sirach 32 and verse 17. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. So there you go. It's like, there's no way. Look, how many times can you try and correct a man like that? The man's hard-headed. He's gonna drop soon. And as I say, the reason why I brought out the correlation with those other fat, obese influencers on social media is that he's gonna suffer the same fate. He's up there thinking he's doing something new and novel, but it's nothing new. So the Most High's gonna take his ass out. Anybody got a precept, otherwise I'll bring one.
I'm just getting one.
That's alright, I'll bring out this one. So this is 2 Maccabees, the 7th chapter, starting at verse 1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. But one of them that spake first said thus, What wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers. So how do you get around that scripture? There's no way to get around it. These brothers were willing to die rather than taste of swine's flesh because they held the law in such high esteem. So now in 2023, you've got niggas coming around talking around Yeah, we sanctify it through the power of the Lord through prayer. Talking straight shit, man. But you know what? You want to say something?
I was going to say that not only the upholding of the law, but the fear of the Lord, man. That
There's
guy
no
obviously
fear.
doesn't fear the law, man.
No.
You know, like the prophet said, he's got demons on him. How are you going to pray? How are you going to use the names and pray over the slime?
I've just looked up this word here.
No.
Yeah, I've looked up this word, right? I'm gonna bring it out. I'm gonna read the precept first. Isaiah 1:5 says, "Why should ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint." Right? And we spoke about it a little bit earlier on. The word revolt, right? The word revolt, apostate, defection, right? That's what happens when somebody's in the army and they just leave. Absconder or a defector, they call them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're telling him, you know, you're going off. So this is what's happening when he said they will revolt more and more. Turning aside, withdraw, defection of a moral or legal offensive, apostate. Apostate is when you come against his truth. That's called apostasy. So he's doing it's deliberate. So really, we're not gonna what's the word? We're not gonna he's not gonna change. But brothers are using this occasion to edify, you know,
Yeah.
to bring out what's going on, because he's on his last legs and he's crying for help, and he knows it's like if you're falling off a building and you know you're just waiting for the end you're waiting to hit the bottom, but he's just crying out for help. That's the only thing he's got, which I'm seeing it in the spirit, you know.
Do you know what? I'd say it's not a cry for help though. It's a cry to get other people to go off the way he's going.
Yeah.
Because I think, look, man, the Most High's hand's not short that he can't save, but someone like him, I think he's kind of beyond.
Let me tell you why.
Beyond the
Let
point,
me tell you
right?
why he's a cry for help, right? Because he knows he ain't. There's no way. Now, if you said to him, "I've got the cure for you to get you off dialysis," he would want it, but there's no cure. So he wants the cure, but he can't. He knows he's going down the dead end wrong. And while he's going down, he's going to take people with him. The demons on him is saying, "I've got you, you fucking motherfucker. Get some others."
That's what I'm saying.
He's
He wants
taking
to take
others
other
with
people,
him.
yeah.
So he wants to be healed, but he knows he can't. So take with. That's a demon. That's a demon. That's what Satan does. That's the same thing Esau does.
Yeah. If I'm gonna, the mentality is, if I'm going down, I'm gonna drag as many people down with me, and that's what demons do, man. So they're trying to influence you in a bad way. You had one gone.
Yeah. Isaiah 66 verse 17. Psalm 15. Psalm 15. So, for behold, the Lord our power will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden, behind one tree, in the midst, eating swine's flesh.
Right. So just gonna speak on that a second. That's what a vast majority of people were doing over the past few days in this Christmas period, because Esau's always pushing that pull. Look, man, anything the devil pushes, you got to look at it with a side eye and be like, hang on a minute, why are they going so hard to push this?
And it's cheap, too.
Yeah, it's the cheapest meat you'll find. When you go into the shop, right, you'll be looking to buy some chicken or some lamb or some beef, but the pork is always the cheapest thing. Why is that? Because they want to get you eating that pork. And at this particular time of year, they're serving up pork in all the sandwiches. You got, what is it, Christmas turkey feast, where you got turkey and bacon. You got your pigs in blankets. You know, you got your stuffed hams and all that kind of shit. That was ham stuffed with bacon. You know, it's ridiculous, right?
They make it look appetizing.
There you go. And all these cooking programs on the fucking TV as well. I don't really watch TV anymore, but when I used to see them, like, was it Nigella Lawson at Christmas? She'd be getting fucking yeah, she looks like a psycho, man. She's got the mad eyes, man. Anyway, like, so she'll be serving up at Christmas, and she's an Amalekite. She says, "Oh, I'm a non-practicing small hat." How the hell can you be a non-practicing like we're Israelites, right?
Rebellious.
If you're a non-practicing Israelite, then what are you? You're basically set for destruction, man. You're in a Gentile state of mind. But yeah, she'll be cooking up all the ham and shit. I remember one time I saw her getting the Christmas turkey and she was stuffing it with Jamaican ginger cake, man. What the hell are you doing, man? Yeah, she goes, "Oh, this is gingerbread. I just call it gingerbread." She took a Vicky's Jamaican ginger cake and used it to stuff the turkeys.
Fucking hell, man.
Trying to be different.
Yeah. Anyway,
Listen, I just wanted to make a quick point on one of the verses because it said in it to plead, right? Read it again, please.
he's a judge. Yeah.
Yeah, just to get the point across what that word means, man.
Most ain't coming down to
He
get
ain't
on his
coming
knees to
yeah,
beg
exactly.
to.
He's not begging you to stop eating a pork. He's coming to judge you, man. And it says to judge, govern, vindicate, and punish, execute judgment, condemning and punishing. So that's what the Lord's coming to do for you swine eaters, man.
Well, there's a format to things. There's an order to things, right? That guy who was eating a turkey and all that kind of shit, he's been sent a warning. How does the Most High warn people through the mouth of his prophets? So us getting on him and rebuking him, that was the Most High's first warning shot, man. Like, you know, like you get these things where Jake will be running from the police and the police say, hey, stop, and they don't fire a warning shot, they just shoot the Jake in the back and the Jake's dead. You know, let's fire a warning shot first. They hear the gunshot, oh, hey, you know what, maybe I better stop. Us speaking about this issue, that was the warning shot from the Most High. But he's doubled down on his bullshit. So you know what? The next time the Most High speaks to him, it may very well be through a heart attack.
Brother K, this is the warning, because let me just finish the finish the
go
sentence,
ahead,
right?
it's like
Let me
it.
finish, because this, as you said, a beautiful thing. This is the warning, right? And it says, let me start from the top again. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, right? And the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed, right? You're warning together with the Lord, save the Lord.
That's a good point, because I remember some years ago, must have been around 2013, I went to an exhibition at the British Museum. The brother, you brought this up earlier, but about Pompeii. And they had a lot of artifacts from Pompeii. And the truth of the matter is that a lot of the things that they've got from Pompeii, they don't even show you, because they were going off so far that even into today's world, it will make you do a double take. And what they used to do in Pompeii is they'd have toilets. And there'd be toilets, like, you know, like you've got a toilet cubicle in this stage. They'd have toilets where there's a particular one that if you go into it, there'd be a sign above the door, and the sign would be that whoever enters this toilet has to have sex with the person who's in there. So be it man, woman, child, whatever, whoever was in the toilet, whoever comes in there next, they have to have sex together. And they were also eating mice. They showed that some of the dishes they would prepare, and you talked about eating swine's flesh and the mouths. They would literally prepare dishes which incorporated mice into them, and they'd be eating that shit. That's the type of madness they were doing in Pompeii, which is no surprise that the Most High destroyed them when Mount Vesuvius erupted. So there's nothing new under the sun. Did you have something, Arya?
Yeah, I got some.
I just want to quickly say though, Sulaki brother, just a quick one. You know the movie, The Book of Eli, right?
Yeah.
So do you remember the bit at the beginning? Because he's a Jake, obviously, we know that. And we know that in the movie that we're actually portraying the Jake. That's why it's all bearded up and all that. But at the beginning of the movie, remember he's hunting. He's got his bow and arrow, right? And what does he kill? Kills a cat. Kills a cat and eats the cat. So they're showing you like how they want Jake to go off. Man.
Yeah.
Because in the times that are coming, right, brothers ain't gonna be getting weak.
And
Those
eating
that
a
are
cat,
in the spirit are not going to be eating the mouse to swine. You know, you're not going to be starving and hungry. Maybe you get into an old supermarket and there's a couple of tins of ham on the fucking. You're not going to eat that shit. Those that are in the spirit aren't going to eat that shit.
Right.
Those that we're dealing with, the Most High's dealing with, are not going to eat that shit.
That's
and
right.
That's the point I'm trying to make, man. We're not going to be desperately out there hunting cats and shit.
Let me bring this is a spirit, brothers. Yeah. Can I bring up something?
Yeah, bring it
Romans 5 verse 19. NLT. Let me say NLV. Yeah. It says, "For just as though the disobedience of the one man, the many were made sinners, so also through the disobedience of one man, the many will be made righteous."
Yeah. Could you read that in the KJV as
Let
well,
me go
Brother
to
Kushar?
KJV. Let's go to the KJV. KJV, right? Right, it says, for as by one man's disobedience many were made sinners,
Right.
so also by one man's obedience many will be made righteous.
That's actually a deep precept, because that actually goes right back to the fall of Adam. You know, through one man, many were made. Read again.
For as by one man's disobedience,
Yeah, Adam's disobedience.
right, many were made sinners.
Right, so we all went off, you know, because we come back through the loins of Adam, and we've inherited that the curses,
Yes.
the sinful nature, the sinful flesh. So read again, read from now on.
Yes, I got. Start again. For as by one man's disobedience, many were made sinners,
Right.
so also by one man's obedience, many will be made righteous.
Right, and so whose obedience are we speaking of? We're speaking of Yahweh's obedience, because he was obedient even unto the death of a cross.
Nice, brother.
So to tie in with what Amawan was saying is that we're going to be obedient, Lord willing, we're of the elect, even through the hardships. We're going to be obedient unto death. So when it comes time to, like, for example, let's say you've been starving for, 5 days, right? And like, God forbid, you find someone's house and there's a tin of spam there. You're not going to be thinking, man. The Lord will have mercy on me. I just eat a little bit of spam. No, man, because that will be you being weak in the faith. What did the Most High use to feed? Was it Elijah? Wasn't it ravens?
Yeah.
You know, the Most High could send down manna from heaven again. You don't know how the Most High could do it. You know, but the whole point is to overcome this world. And a big part of overcoming this world is overcoming your own flesh. It's like the battle. How can you fight the battle without when you've already lost the battle within? You know what I'm saying? You've got to be able to overcome your own demons before you can then go out into the world and try and, deal with the world, man. Because at the end of the day, you could go out into the world, be doing what you're doing, and then go home and still falling victim to them same old demons that you haven't even overcome yourself, man. How the hell can you? And you know what, man? There's certain. We've seen this happen sometimes, man. You know, you've got brothers who might be in amongst brothers out there on the streets speaking every week, but then they're going home and being fucking niggas, man, and thinking that brothers don't see it. If you're spiritual, you're gonna see it, because you're gonna know, look, man, this guy's faking the funk. He's full of shit. And if brothers can see it, you don't think the Most High can't see it? The Most High, whose eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. And this is the thing, man. How do brothers think they can deceive Yahweh? Like, in the scriptures, doesn't it talk about multiple occasions where certain guys will come up to Yahweh and try and trick him with questions, and they'll come in with subtlety to try and catch him in his words. But it says Yahweh discern their thoughts. So he could read people's minds. You don't think he can't read your mind? No. It's like, how? I don't understand how people think, man. Why do people think that they're the first person to try something? I'll use an example. So like, no. I'll use an example, right? When I was a child at secondary school, like year 11, whatever, they get us all in a class and they show us these videos of the dangers of smoking, and they'd show like a person's heart, a smoker's heart that had smoked for how many years and died, and the heart would be all destroyed and stuff. And there'd be children in the class watching it, and I'd be thinking, nah, I ain't smoking, man. I didn't want to smoke anyway. But then there'd be children who saw that, and they would go out and then be behind the bike shed smoking. So it's like, hang on a minute, you didn't see what just happened to that person. Why do you think your end's going to be any different? It's like, people are so arrogant, they think that they're the first person to try something. You're not the first, man. You're not even the second or the third. It's been many people who've tried shit before, and they've suffered for it, and you're just too stupid and hard-headed to see the examples set before you. You're going on in a way that's going to destroy you. What does it say?
As the scripture says also, it says there is nothing new under the sun.
That's right. But the one I'm thinking of is, there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
Yeah, I mean, and just like you were saying, this is the app, brother, because what people really should do is learn from the examples, the bad examples, rather than following the thing and they go over to see.
Yeah.
If I could just quickly say, because I want to make this point clear as well, that the main patron of the tobacco industry, or the main target, I should say, of the tobacco industry are children. They want children to smoke. There's not many adults that choose to smoke when they're adults, because they know how stupid it is.
Okay.
The trap is to get the children to smoke when they're young. So obviously, once you start smoking, it's addictive in itself.
Yeah.
You're going to continue on.
That's how they get you when you're young. And there's a saying that when the lights are on and nobody's home, because when you're young, you're just impressionable. You made the point earlier. And when you get older, you like I mentioned about that was it I guy? When he got hooked on it, He probably wanted to get off, but he was hooked. He was already hooked, line and sinker in already. And he wanted to get healed, but he couldn't. So he's on his spiral down, and he wants to take others with him. I like the analogy you used earlier on when you said we're signing the warning shot top.
Yeah.
I've got a precept for that. Yeah. Jeremiah 25 from the top says a couple of verses there. The word that came to Jeremiah concerning all the people of Judah in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Joshua, the king of Judah, that was in the 1st year of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. So this was a warning shot, right? Jump down to 4. It says, and the Lord hath sent unto you all his servants, the prophets, rising up early and sending them, but ye have not hearkened nor inclined your ear to hear. These are warning shots, man. Jumping down to 7. This is the results of not hearkening. Ye have not hearkened unto me, saith the Lord, that ye may provoke me to anger with the works of your hands to your own heart. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, because you have not hearkened unto my words, behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, saith the Lord, and Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, I will bring them against the land and against the inhabitants thereof, and against all those nations round about, and I will utterly destroy them and make them an astonishment and hissing and a perpetual desolation. Because there was warning, he was given enough time to hearken it. So when he unleashes, when Yahweh or Yahweh unleashes, he's justified. You know. So what we're doing now, warning shots until he hits the bottom, and then it's just going to be a big splat, man.
Now I just want to just add real brief, and I'm going to get into the article, right? Because basically there's an article that came out, and
you dropped something.
there was an article that came out about how America's becoming more overwhelmed because China and Russia is getting together, and you know, if they're getting more tight together, because they've already been together, Russia and China, but if they getting tighter together, then America's going to be overwhelmed and done for. That's what I really wanted to say.
I just want to say one more thing,
bro.
and I hand it to you. Because the reason why I brought this out is this whole guy.
If you want the water for a second.
This guy, he's basically being a reprobate. This is the precept I'll just close out on right now. 2 Peter 2 verse 2. So 2 Peter 2 verse 1. So like that. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. So these fat people who are talking about anybody who says the word obese or talks to fat people about being healthy, they call you being a fat phobic, but really, it's really a phobia to the truth. A lot of people have a phobia to hearing the words of truth, and they say that the words of truth are now hateful. But that's all pertaining to prophecy, as I read there in that scripture, you know, the way of truth is evil spoken of. That's all I've got over to you.
No, that's all right, brother. Because just to add to what you're saying as well, and on that, because you know the brother around me, he did a live lesson on it, speaking on what you're just talking about, how the Pope wants to rewrite a couple of things in the scriptures.
Oh yeah.
They don't really obviously agree with everything that the Bible says, which all of these different various clergymen all around, you know, these different various religious sects, man, they were never really about the Bible anyway. They've always been about Satan's, you know, agendas. That's who they really serve at the end of the day. You know, but what I want to go back and talking about is this whole Russian situation in China. Because also Biden even declared a threat. He somewhat of a little of a threat, but he said pretty much that we need to go against Russia because of the whole Ukrainian situation, right? And the ultimate reason why he's saying all of this, because again, they feel overwhelmed because what's going on between the allies. Now, when you read the book of Jeremiah, what is it? I think it's 50 in verse 9. Somebody can give me that Baba Bashar. It talks about how you're going to have an assembly of great nations that's going to come up against them. Now, when you look at
Russia and China, they both are great nations. Because they have, what is it, a great, mighty military power. So although America has the military power it has, guess what? They're still weak. Because what they've done is they've done exactly what the Romans did. They spreaded their military too thick, all over the place. Go on, brother.
Jeremiah 50, verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her.
Right.
That from thence she shall be taken. The arrow shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain.
Right, and none shall return in vain. And that's why they're all getting together. Because the whole agenda of the Heavenly Father, which is the power that he serves, is, or should I say he has an agenda, right? And his agenda is going to supersede over the agenda of mankind. Just like it reads in the book of Proverbs 19 and 21. There be many devices in a man's heart, but what? The counsel of the Lord, that shall stand. So regardless of what they're trying to do, if anything, trying to override and try to pretty much change the story of what is. Guess what? They're gonna play to the story of what the Lord have set up. Okay? Because at the end of the day, man's goings of the Lord. So anyway, this is the counsel of the Lord. This is what he wants, right? And it's happening right now. Russia and China are on the brink of a military alliance that could overwhelm the U.S. But let me go all the way down for you all of that. Let's go all the way here. It says, for decades, the military might of the U.S. was unchallenged. After the collapse of the Soviet Union in '91, the U.S. was the world's only military superpower, with its force deployed all over the world to defend allies to deter aggression. But as 2023 draws to a close conflict flaring across the world, and Russia and China are growing increasingly aggressive in their shared ambition to topple the U.S. as the world's biggest power. So again, let's read the prophecy of that. Let's read that again, bro.
Back in Jeremiah 15 verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain.
Yeah, and that's why they're coming together. They're not coming together because they want to be the next superpower, whatever kind of thought that they have in mind to do it. The Lord is doing it because the Lord has, again, an agenda. And the agenda is to what? Move these nations together, these great superpowered nations, to destroy Babylon. It's just as simple as that. So this is what we're seeing. When we look at these various articles, we can see what's really going on when it concerns prophecy. Prophecy is pretty much acting on its part. That's why it reads also in the book of Habakkuk too. Somebody can get that as well. Habakkuk chapter 2. What is it? Verse I think it's 3. Verse 1 to verse 3.
Chapter 2 verse 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Habakkuk 2 verse 3 says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
Yeah, it will surely come. What's the vision? The second coming of the Lord. But in that, you're going to have this war between these nations. And when that's in activation, that's the end of this world. That's the complete breakdown and destruction of this society. And on to the next one. As the saying goes, what is it? Out with the old, in with the new. Now, doesn't it say, as well as it reads in the Apocrypha, it says basically that Jacob is the
Ezra 6 and 9.
Yeah, 2 Ezra 6 and 9, it says Jacob is what? Esau's the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of the dead father.
That's right.
So this is what we're pressing up towards. And in that, you're going to have all of these nincompoops playing their part. Like he was talking about earlier before about the false prophets. Right? Talking about how it's okay to, to eat just anything, eat pork. And then you got this same old nigga talking about, how he would kill somebody off of some shrimp. And this dude got the nerve to call himself KD. Like, bro, how you gonna call yourself KD? Like, that's ridiculous. King David was a royal man. Like, come on, like when you think about pork and shit, that's poor man food.
Hey, it's lucky the scriptures say King David was a man after the Most High's own heart.
Yeah.
So how can you be eating pork?
Yeah.
That's not with the Most High's spirit.
No, it's not. So a man after the Most High's heart, he's gonna keep the commandments. Now I don't mean to sound like Bishop Nathaniel, because you know them niggas, they always talk about, oh, you gotta keep the law, but they don't keep the law. They struggling to do that. You got guys lining up their hairlines and you know, got the dreads on and everything, where the Apostle Paul made it very clear that it's a
Shame for a man to have long hair.
yeah. So, but they still doing all of that stuff. So you already know they're not keeping the scriptures. It's just all talk. It's just all for fun. And you got these simple jakes, they follow these guys because of how they look. And you got some simpletons that will say, oh yeah, you know, the IUIC church, they look more organized. Yeah, they organized outwardly, but they ain't organized with the breakdowns. Yeah. All right, we may not look so flashy, but guess what? We good with the breakdowns, because that's what it's all about. And the reason why the breakdowns are more important, because we're tapping into the word of the Lord, and that can't be corrupt. The scripture says, whosoever out of, somebody get it, man, Revelations 21. Somebody get Revelations 21, and I think it's the last verse, man, where it reads, whosoever addeth onto these words, shall the Lord add to the plagues of the, something to that book. Yeah. Because you got to be careful how you breaking this down.
It's 22.
Oh, it's 22, so lucky, brother. And then somebody get Revelations 21, verse 8.
Revelation 22 and 18, it says, for I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, Yahweh shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book.
Yeah.
And if any man shall take away from the words of the book, of this prophecy, Yahweh shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book.
That's how serious it is. Now I'll read that just to convey the point, because you're going to have all Israel that's going to be within the Lord, you know, in the kingdom, within his kingdom and everything. Actually, read it again, because I want to catch exactly what you said there.
Revelation 22:18. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, Yahweh shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Yahweh shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city.
Yeah, because all of Israel is going to be in the holy city. All right. So primarily, Jake don't really have that kind of power to actually change the Bible. See, who's changing the Bible in totality are these Amalekites that's claiming themselves to be the Jesuit priests. They're the one that's changing books all around. I'm talking about the Bible. They making Bibles for homosexuals, like, you know, like they used to say that back in the Old West. They used to say it like that.
It's not about Adam and Eve anymore. It's about Adam and Steve.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the information that they're pushing. That's the corrupted philosophy that they're pushing on the people, using the Bible. You know, so they'll use the original copy and then flip it, because they got the money, they got the power to do all it and the finances to do it. So it's really that precept is really talking to Esau primarily. But I'm just reading that to show you the dangers of adding to the words of the Lord and lying. This is what's going to happen to guys that continue to lie in the scriptures. Man. Go on, bro. Read that in Revelation 21, verse 8.
Revelation 21, verse 8. But the fearful and the unbelieving and the abominable and the murderers and the whoremongers and the sorcerers and the idolaters and all liars
Go on.
shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
Yeah, so even if you're lying on the scriptures, you don't even have to be doing abominable sins, but just lying on the scriptures, well, actually, that's just as abominable. Because this Bible is the holy book. I'm holding my phone, I'm pointing to my phone. You know, the Bible
says lying lips on abomination.
Oh, yeah.
To the Lord.
Thank you, brother. See? Lying lips is an abomination to the Lord. So you don't want to be lying, man. Especially when you're reading these scriptures. You want to get these scriptures correct to save your ass. That's what you want to do. Read it again.
Revelation 21 verse 8. But the fearful and the unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars.
And you know what too as well, when you preach in the name of Jesus the Christ, that's an idolatry because you're invoking in a false spirit. You're supposed to preach the gospel and say his name correctly. So when we begin the camp, what do we say? We say, we give all the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashar Shah. To make it very clear that that's who we're praising for one, and that's the name that we stand on when we perform this ministry. So when you saying Christ this and Christ that, you're invoking a false God. Go on.
Shall have their part in the lake of which, the lake of, shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
And that's the missiles. The missiles are going to be likened unto those brimstones. The waste is to destroy. That's why they got them, and they are, because they're going to use them, and they're going to abuse these niggas out there, and all of those people that ain't fucking right. Among these other nations as well. All right, they're going to be used to abuse, valiantly. So this is why what? As it is written, we persuade men. By the fear of the Lord, we persuade men. And as it is also written that it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. And that's the problem with our people as a whole. There's no fear of the Lord. Especially those that are claiming to be Israelites. There's no fear. But see, the Lord is going to show why you got to fear when it's all said and done. So yeah, brother, get me back to Jeremiah 50 verse 9. No, finish what you got, brother.
No, that was it on that.
Okay, brother.
That was in Revelation 22.
Right, back in Jeremiah 50 verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken.
Right, and then shall she be taken. Go on.
Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man.
So what Jeremiah is basically elaborating is he's seeing the vision of the arrows, and he's saying the term arrow because that's what was already that was an instrument of war that they used at the time. But what he's looking at is the missiles. Go on, brother.
Just to add to your point, I was actually not to just detract us on the point. I was watching an interesting YouTube video the other day about different guns, and they lined up like a assault rifle, sniper rifles, handguns, and they fired bullets, and they measured. They've done slow motion footage to show the bullet traveling to see which bullet traveled fastest. So my point being is that a missile is like a mini bullet because it's got the same principle behind it. Like the propulsion system, the explosion drives it forward, and it's the same as an arrow. But the arrow, you're just pulling a string, but it's the same thing. So going back to what you were saying, you likened the missiles onto arrows. Well, a bullet is an arrow too. So it's all the same thing.
Yeah, because they're going to be using the guns too, as well. But primarily, he's seeing the missiles going from one end of the earth towards Babylon, and he likened his great city as Babylon, because in his mind he was probably thinking that he was probably envisioning that this prophecy was for that Babylon, but it wasn't. It was for the next one to come, which we're in right now. Go on, brother.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Right, I'll read it again. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain.
Right, and none of those missiles are going to return. It's like it reads in the Apocrypha. It says, when the Lord send the arrows, the roughly paraphrasing, it says that all of the things that the Lord is going to send, it's not going to return. Somebody can read Joel the second chapter as well.
To say that Joel says that too. You'll get Joel too.
Anybody can read it. Yeah, the water, brother. Yeah, so I mean, when these nations get it together, again, that's the Lord setting this whole society up to be wholly destroyed. That's the only thing that really matters to us. We're not looking for the society to come back up. We're not going to be out here preaching it because, for one, we don't want it emotionally, but let's go beyond us. The Bible don't say that. If you can, brother, give me Jeremiah 8 and 8.
Okay. You want Joel now?
Yes.
This is Joel 2 and 1. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble.
Yeah, that's what we're doing with sounding the alarm. Now, doesn't it say in the book of Jeremiah as well? It says, cry ye out aloud and spare not, and lift up thy voice like a trumpet. So again, that's us giving them warnings to the people, especially our people on the side. So none of our people can really say, "Oh, I didn't even know what was going to come. I didn't even know what was going to actually happen in the future." When it actually comes, whatever event which is spoken up in the scriptures, they already knew about it. So now that you know, now you have to repent. You got to make that decision. Are you going to go along with what the prophets are saying, or are you going to just continue to do your own thing and be destroyed at the very end? Because we all over YouTube. Let's just say you don't want to deal with us in the physical, but guess what? You can't avoid us because you're going to find us on the computer too. And it's like when you going, especially when you're dealing with YouTube, when you go on YouTube, Esau is trying to suppress this information that we bring through the videos. But yet still, Jake is still able to see it. The whole world is still able to see the Israelites. Alright? So this truth ain't going nowhere. This truth is gonna get more prolific. It's all the words of the Lord are gonna proliferate itself all around the planet Earth. And I'm saying it's gonna, but it's already done that. All right, we already at the point where the word of the Lord has covered the whole planet Earth. Just like Moses said that, what? We're gonna get into that. My mind's moving 1,000 miles an hour now. I'm gonna slow it down. Yeah, so read what you got.
Yeah, so it says, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Verse 2, a day of darkness and gloominess.
Yeah.
A day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong. There have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations.
Right, even to the years of many generations. So as the brother read it, as he used the words as it's written there, great morning is gonna what? Cover the mountains. Now, that's parabolic and it's also literal as well, because when those missiles hit ground zero, the smoke is going to rise up. If buildings are getting hit, cars are getting hit, guess what's going to happen? There's going to be all of that smoke going up into the sky. And it's going to amalgamate itself among the clouds, blocking out everything. So all it's going to be is just darkness. Okay? But it's going to be a darkness in the sense of a sense of misery. Go on, brother.
Verse 3 says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness.
Right.
Yea, nothing shall escape them.
Right, nothing shall escape them. Why? Because the Lord is going to be behind it. To foil these missiles, as it is written, that the Lord have given them the knowledge to create the wastes to destroy them. And that these are the weapons of his indignation, to repay back the people of the wrongs that they have done. First and foremost, dealing with this devil, these Amalekites at the very top, because of how they ruled over our people. That's the real reason why World War III is going to happen. It was to do with everything that they did to us. Go on, brother. And then we're going to go back to Joel 2 and 1.
Jeremiah 51 verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms.
Right, and with thee I will destroy kingdoms. Now that's going to happen after we're delivered and we're changed. Because we can't take this man down with the bodies that we have right now. We're frail as hell. So there's going to have to be a change. So we're going to have to be more dynamic than we are. Because we're weak. But let's go back to this.
Verse Joel 2 and 4 says, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, And as horsemen, so shall they run.
Right, and as horsemen, so shall they run. So it's not literally talking about horses, it's talking about missiles. Which the term horse means power. So when those missiles hit ground zero, all of those missiles are going to demonstrate its kind of power. Now, one missile can pretty much do away with a whole state, the size of Texas or California. And as well as you got a missile that could destroy the whole of the UK. Like if they were able to do so much damage to those Japanese in Nagasaki with the atomic missile that they had, and that was in the 40s, how much more the technology they got now? That's why they were saying in these various articles that I was reading, especially I'm thinking about the one that I read on the BBC where it says billions could die just off of this nuclear war. Right? And what they was talking about as well is that people could die off of famine. If society has to stop, when society is at a state of emergency, everything has to stop. Okay? And even if you're in a rural country, let's just say you're in a poorer country where, you know, it's more agricultural based, the food gets messed up, man. So it's going to be a lot of death out here. But this is all good. Now that's crazy me saying that that's all good. The reason why it's all good because the Lord is good. The ultimate reason why all of this is going to happen. Yeah, it's because it's to do with the wrongs that the people have done. Yeah. Right? That's the main part of it, but there's another part of it. So that the Lord can change the planet Earth forever. Right. This is why this is going to be called the second death. Go on, brother.
Verse 5 says, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Right,
as a strong people set in battle array, because the missiles are going to fly together at the same time. You're not going to have one after the other flying, you know, as they all going to fly together. It's going to be so much missiles flying. That's what he saw. That's what Jeremiah saw in the vision. He saw the arrows, or as he described what looked like to be arrows, but they were missiles flying together to destroy Babylon.
Yeah, because you know in the ancient battle days where you had set infantry, so you had the front line, the swordsmen, you had the archers, and the archers would shoot at the same. That's another word to say, but they're shooting at the same time. So. Simultaneously, right?
Yep.
They all shoot simultaneously in order to hit one particular target, you know, with many arrows to cause a lot of destruction. And that's the same kind. That's how we're envisioning the missile. You know, because they're going to come down. It's not going to be like one or two.
It's like I was going to say, if you've seen the film Braveheart, there's a scene in one of the battles where they fire all the arrows up and they've got to put their shields and the arrows are raining down. That's kind of what you're describing. It's the arrows that go up and down in an arcing fashion.
But there'll be one man that will give the order for them to set and then to fire. So they'll all do it at the same time. Anyway.
That's a very good point too. So that's how those missiles are going to be hitting America and hitting different other places. Now you're going to have missiles hitting different places, but them places are going to be re-inhabited. But America's going to be the only land that's not going to be a no man's land, according to Isaiah 34 and Isaiah 13. And those lands are going to be inhabitable for those desert creatures. Now I want to read a scripture over here. This is Isaiah 9 verse 5, right? It says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and the garments rolled in blood. And I was reading this, brother, because he was talking about how in the ancient world they were using, you know, those
Frontline guys.
Yeah, the frontline guys, but they were using
infantry and the swords and the shields and the spears, archers.
Yeah, the pragmatic that's the word that I can only come up with. Primitive technology.
Medieval weaponry.
Yes. Yeah, so this reads for every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. Salakia, and it reads, but this shall be reburning and fuel of fire. So this war that's coming is going to be reburning and fuel of fire. Because it's going to have to take fuel, right? For those missiles to be propelled. But guess what? This is twofold as well, because even the people are going to be the fuel. When you look up that word fuel, the word goes back to the word fuel.
Fuel for the fire.
Yeah. So these people are going to burn for the sake of their sins. So the Most High is going to knock everything out having this great deal of a prophecy to put in place. And that's why most people, they don't really subscribe to GMS that much, because we touch more on the prophecies, and the prophecies are pretty scary to the average person. And that's why Bishop and Daniel, they don't really touch on these things, because what they got to do is they got to draw more attention to their church. The more they can draw people in, is the more money they can make off of it. But we're coming straight through the gate because we don't have an agenda. Our agenda is to, well, we do have an agenda. Our agenda is to push this truth the way that it is.
But there's not a hidden agenda, and that's the difference. Because if he's to talk about the way we talk about things, he's only going to alienate people, repulse them from coming into the truth. So he's coming half sweet.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. He's straddling the fence because he got to make that money. Go on, brother. That's all right.
Joel 2 and 6, it says, before their face the people shall be much pain, all faces shall gather blackness. They shall run, this is verse 7, they shall run like mighty men.
Yeah.
They shall climb the wall like men of war.
Right.
And they shall march every one on his ways.
Right, and they're going to climb the wall like mighty men. So those missiles are going to be hitting cities, buildings, you name it, everything that's moving out here. The missiles are going to hit. People walking around that haven't repented of their sins, they're all going to get destroyed.
Newborn babies.
Newborn babies, let's go in, brother. Like, the Lord ain't discriminating out here, right? And check this out. Nobody ain't got no audacity to say, "Oh, the Lord can't do that." The Lord can do that because He was the one that brought that newborn baby, so He could take He could take it out too. All right. Go on, brother.
It says, and they shall not break their ranks. Verse 8, neither shall one thrust another.
Right, neither shall one thrust another. You got those heat-seeking missiles. And you got precise missiles. Come on now. So again, the Lord gave them this information, this knowledge to split the atom bomb and to use those atomic bombs, transform them into nuclear bombs to destroy everything, to fulfill prophecy.
Even to add to Elder, when those missiles
Talk about it,
drop,
brother.
even when those missiles drop, right, in impact, it's going to even create more missiles coming out,
Yes,
many
it is.
many things coming out.
because
That's
you
more
got
destruction, you know.
Yeah, because you got warheads within one warhead.
Yeah, well, that's it, yeah.
That's why the scripture says that what is it? It's in the book of Revelations. I'll get that when I get there. Let's focus on this.
Some of them don't even hit the ground.
No.
So you get that effect of it being above the cities, which is going to cause more devastation and more widespread devastation, because obviously you haven't got the buildings taking some of the impact out. It says, verse 8, neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded.
They shall not be wounded. So when they fall upon Esau, because Esau is the sword, they're not going to be wounded. Because again, the Lord is going to be with them. Right? Remember, there was some footage that came out years ago, where I think it was in America. It was in some kind of base where the missiles were around that base, right? And what they found out was, and I think it happened in Russia too. There was a missile base, and they were shooting the missile, and the angel actually blocked it from going. You know what I'm talking about? One of the angels actually manipulated the missile to not go up, to not actually do his job, to go up in the sky. So that's very well telling that the Lord is in control of this thing. So even if they say, look, we're gonna go through a certain amount of peace treaty, we're gonna go through and see if we can make some kind of peace treaty. The Lord is still going to move forward, and they've been doing that in the past. There's been many of times they've set up councils to hold and keep the peace, but yet we're still in that time. Go on, brother.
Revelation 7 verse 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor the sea, nor any tree.
Right. So again, the Lord is the one that's controlling these destroying winds.
Elder,
Yeah.
can I just say, right? It says, you mentioned that when they tried to blow up the moon,
Yeah.
and they were sending one of the missiles to the moon. This is the guy's name. I'll show it to the camera. Robert Jacobs,
Yeah,
US
raise it up a little bit, brother. There you go.
US Air Force. Yeah, he's the one that describing it. You probably saw this guy.
Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah. Come.
And yeah, he was breaking it down when
Yeah.
when I saw that I had no idea about the truth or nothing. I just loved the idea that that's an angel. In my head, that's what the Spirit told me. That's an angel. And they're and Esau's trying to blow up the moon, and the angel just came out, lasered it, then it
Smack
went
that
round,
shit out the way.
lasered it again, and they're saying that the speed of the missile is so fast. How can an angel come out and circle the missile, come around, laser it again, circle it around, laser it again, and then go back out as if nothing happened so quickly?
Yeah.
So that always was mind blowing to me, you know. Before I even did. So this is the guy. He's describing it. A former U.S. Air Force intelligence, Robert Jacob, and it's interesting how his name is Jacob as well, isn't it? Maybe it's a Jake. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he kind of do look like a Jake. He could be a Jake. But the thing of it is, what you were saying is the reason why they were capable of doing that is one thing about these so-called UFOs, like many have already found out already, but they talking about it. One guy came out and said, man, these angelic beings can burn us to briskets, charcoal briskets, he was saying, because they're coming from a different dimension. That's why sometimes you can see a so-called UFO. It looks like it's right here around us, but it's not here. It's in a different dimension. You know what I mean? So what Esau has, the Lord only gave Esau base kind of technology towards the angels. The angels got infinite type of technology.
What do they say? Between 100 and 1,000 years in advance?
Difference,
yeah? In terms of technology.
God. So, I mean, these levels don't stand a chance. Like even the Rummy, he put on what is it? He put a video out there, right? And these niggas, they was inside this what is it? This roundabout thing, this supersonic roundabout thing it was in, right? And they couldn't even deal with the fucking G-forces.
It's like that's what they call it, G-lock, isn't it?
G-lock, yeah.
There's a threshold that people can't overstand. So yeah, G-lock, yeah.
Yeah. So if they could, if the average person can't withstand that kind of level of G-force, right? Then there's no way in hell they're gonna be able to stand up with the angels. Because the way the angels are gonna be moving, they're gonna be moving like this. You know what I'm saying? That takes a lot to dealing with the G-forces. You gotta be up there. You gotta have godlike power to destroy the angels.
It says, with a twinkling of an eye, we change, you know?
Yeah.
Because you have to be changed in order to get into the chariots, you know what I mean? Because these bodies can't get in there.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Go on, bro. Just to add to your point, to dramatize it a little bit, they even show that in the film Independence Day because Will Smith is supposed to be the Air Force and he's got his gay friend there with him, the Edomite dude, and they go to fight the so-called aliens after the first laser beams. And if you remember, he's in the dogfight and his friend's like, I can't take it, and he pulls off his mask, and Will Smith's like, no, don't, and then he gets blown up. So they were even showing you in that film that the pilots aren't going to be able to match up with the chariots, man. Unless your name's Will Smith.
Well, it tells you in the seafood that they move through the spirit. There's spiritual beings in the spiritual crafts. So it says I'm paraphrasing, whichever way they looked, they turn. So you imagine you're in a vehicle that moves like that, and all you have to do is look where you want to go, and you're going there.
Go on, bro. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13. 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, from verse 6. And it says, But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
Yeah. So I mean, like that's the outcome, as even Esdras saw. He envisioned the outcome of what the outcome is going to be after they make an attempt to fight the Lord, and that's why they're getting together. Having these conferences. Going back to the time of 2019, I think it was when Donald J. Trump was in office. He set up the Space Force. Why you need a Space Force for? Because they're gonna fight these angelic beings. And that's why the White House and just very well the CIA in general, the government, have always kept this information confidential. Because if the people know exactly what the government knows, then it's gonna woo the people. And people are gonna become believers of that higher power. So they don't want that. They don't want all of that to get out, because then it's just gonna kill everything. But the point that I'm making is that, I mean, if you're the powers that be, surely you should know about the angels of God. Yeah. And the fact that they have the Israelites in slavery, you already know they should know that. Okay? Yeah. And that's why they're scared to death. On everything. Like, that's why they want to get Jake chipped and everything, because they figure if they can get Jake chipped and get Jake to do all kind of abominations, then the Lord can't come back anymore. But the Lord is going to come back, because there's an election that was preordained to receive this knowledge and this understanding. And therefore, we can move on forward with these prophecies. All right? They think they're going to stop the prophecy. You ain't going to stop anything, Esau. So, that's just the bottom line. I mean, these people can't even stop the shit that come out of their ass. So how can you stop the word of the Lord? I don't mean to be so graphic, but just conveying the point.
Sometimes you've got to break it down to the basics.
Yeah. If I could say as well, with the chariots, they've tried to engage chariots. In a lot of these historical wars we know about, like the Vietnamese wars, and some of those Iranian wars, chariots have came and they've appeared, and they've tried to shoot them down, in the middle of the war. 1968, one specific time, I went into it a little bit on the video. 1968, they tried to engage and shoot down chariots, and they ended up realizing when they investigated all the fire that came back at them, it was their own fire to return back to them. All the things they fired back, it was all their rockets that they tried to shoot down the chariots. So they made a decree not to engage with the so-called UFOs, which we know are the chariots. That was the decree around 1968, and before then they was always trying to shoot them down. So now they know, and one of the commanders said, it's amazing how one of the most effective military, most powerful militaries on the earth has been humbled by these so-called UFOs. So they know there's a lot more that's not come out yet, but they're showing, up until the end of this year, they've been showing pure UFO documentaries. So there's something who knows what's gonna happen next year? They know something's something's cooking.
Something's cooking, but they may very well do too. They may very well do a blue-green project and make it look like, oh yeah, see, that's God coming back. Like, before we get out of here, bro, like, we gonna start seeing some wild stuff, man. Esau's gonna use his left-hand side magic to woo the people, but then the Lord is gonna intervene and blow all of that shit out the fucking frame.
There was in World War II as well. Go to Wikipedia, right? Right. There's a term called food fighter, right? It says the term food fighters was used by Allied aircraft pilots during World War II to describe various unidentified flying objects or mysterious aerial phenomena seen in the skies over both the European and Pacific theaters of operations.
They go into it, bro.
So yeah, man, these things, these chariots, and if you've seen a lot of old paintings, where they draw. They draw the chariots. The chariots. And people say, we understand it when we see them now. When I used to see them before, I didn't know what that was. I saw them in so many different paintings. But now we know, especially when they're talking about so-called holy paintings or depicting, whether it's Edomite-looking prophets or the icons, you see them, man. So the chariots have always been there, man. They've always been around.
All throughout the ages.
They're always watching.
Yeah, and even during the time of ancient Egypt, they got information on that as well. Esau knows everything, man. They know they do, and that's why if you notice, Esau hasn't really destroyed us as a nation because they're afraid that if they do try to do something like that, there's going to be a backlash. That's why we're still here, probably. Go on, brother.
Right, back in Joel 2, yeah? This is Joel 2:9. It says, they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses.
Yeah.
They shall enter in at the windows like a thief.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is now I'm going to change the topic a little bit just for the sake of time because I want to get into some other information as well, right? On this article over here, the People's Voice, you know, a lot of brothers go into this because this guy brings out a lot of good information. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send this on the chat so one of you brothers can read this. All right. And then, brother, you give me Psalms 12. Actually, no, let me send it to you, brother. No, I'll send it on the chat. I'll send it on the chat. It's right there looking at directly at you. They're going out. Because what this woman is saying, who is she anyway? CPS
Catherine
host.
Herridge.
Yeah, you got it, brother.
So yeah, this is on, as the elder said, the People's Voice. It says CBS host warns of Black Swan event coming in 2024. Huge numbers of people died. So it says CBS News face the nation host Catherine Herridge has warned the public that an imminent Black Swan event is set to occur in 2024 that will lead to a large number of deaths.
So I was watching this a little bit, but I was watching what she was saying, and I was reading the article at the same time. Actually, no, I didn't watch what she was saying. I was reading the article, and she said something to the equivalent that this could very well be a black kind of event which will happen suddenly. And you know, in that article it says something to the equivalent of you know, what a Black Swan event is, like basically a major event. But usually these events are sudden events. But this is an event that is going to wind up killing loads of people. So what I did was I went on the peoplesvoice.com again and found another article, and it led me to the original article where they got it from. And what they were saying is it's going back to you know, the particular variant, of course. They're saying with that now, there's a case within the variant called JN1. And that particular variant is going to hit people crazy, and it's going to be globally, and it's going to be what? A cardiac arrest, which is going to come from that variant. All right? And what they're saying is that millions could drop dead just off of that. So that might be the Black Swan event that she's talking about. Because how does she know? Because she's an insider. Go on, brother. You got some more on that.
Yeah, it says Herridge, the
Go on,
wife
brother. Yeah.
of a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Air Force, warned that 2024 may be the year of a Black Swan event. This is a national security event with high impact that is very hard to predict.
Yeah.
It says the Blaze.com reports statistician and former options trader Nassim Nicholas Taleb popularized the term Black Swan event in his 2007 book, The Black Swan.
Yeah. Yeah, so just like you just read, brother, how she said it's an unpredictable event. But the point that I want to build back on again is the fact that she said this Black Swan event is going to involve people dying, millions of people dying.
Can I just say
yeah, go on, brother.
Because she's saying Black Swan, but really, if she's an insider, it's not a Black Swan, because a Black Swan, like, according to this guy, is unpredictable, right? So you don't know it's coming, you can't predict it. But she's predicting because she's on the inside. Because I still didn't need to tell you, but I looked at the definition, right? And it says a Black Swan theory or theory of Black Swan events is a metaphor that describes an event that comes as a surprise, has a major effect, and is often inappropriately rationalized after the fact with the benefit of hindsight.
Right, so it's rationalized after. But what they obviously mean, though, is the fact that it's going to be a Black Swan event to us, because we don't know about it. But they know about it, and it just goes to show you that obviously they would know because they're going to be causing this Black Swan event. And just like I mentioned, you know, some time ago I did a video, and I mentioned in that video that 2024 has to be a year of action. because too much is already going on. Like, we're talking about a lot of people waking up to Amalek. That's the biggest thing that's going on, that they never really wanted. They never really wanted the idea of the people or the world waking up to them, because their powers relies in the secrecy. If they're in secrecy, they can do whatever the hell they want and fool people around. But if people know them and consciously aware of them, they can't fool people. So that's the scary thing. And their fear is that if more people know about us, they might wind up going to kill our ass, right? And that's the point that we're at right now. We're at a point where people know exactly who they are. And what made them even more known was this whole Palestinian situation, the Israeli-Palestinian thing. So now what they're gonna have to do, they're gonna have to come with something to knock all of that noise out and distract the people crazy, and to get forward moving with this new world order system.
Is that why we're hearing, is that why we're hearing so much about these DJ characters and the P. Diddy thing?
Probably so.
As a distraction.
It's a distraction, yeah.
Just company, just now.
Of course. And what they don't want is they don't want Jake waking up the Amalek, because Amalek has been the main culprit as a nation for the downfall of our people. They've always been behind the downfall of our people. You know? Go on, brother.
Habakkuk 2 verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time.
And we just read that. That's the spirit. There's no Salakia. There's spirit. Go on, brother.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. But,
And not lie.
but that's for the elect. The elect are going to see these things, these visions, yeah? And not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
Yeah, exactly. Especially right now, we don't have to wait too much longer, because it's looking very promising what's going on. Like, we thought back in 2011 we was going to be at the end. 2011 is like a theme park, man, when you go back in them times. Well, I should have said the 2010s. We thought that the 2010s was rocky, but nah, the 2010s was a peaceful decade. This decade is more crazy. People done lost their minds. People done took the VC shots, and it's bugging them the hell out. Okay, and then you got this case situation that I was talking about. Go on, brother.
So yes, it says Talib defined the term thusly. First, it is an outlier as it lies outside the realm of regular expectations, because nothing in the past can convincingly point to its possibility. Secondly, it carries an extreme impact. Third, in spite of its outlier status, human nature makes us concoct explanations for its occurrence after the fact, making it explainable and predictable.
And you know what the real black swan event is? The prophecies of the Bible, because even the elites are unaware when this stuff happens. They have a vision in mind on what is capable of happening, because, you know, they think because they're in a position of power, they can formulate events. But there's events that's in the scriptures that they don't even know about that's going to happen to them, and that's going to really take them for surprise. And the ultimate black swan event is going to be the incoming of the Lord, which they kind of do know that the Lord is going to come back, but in the other part of their mind, their thing is that can't be possible. That can't be possible, but it is a possibility. It's very well a possibility. Or maybe that's what they want to believe.
Yeah, that's a good point, because when Yahushua comes back, people's minds are going to start to stir when they see the chariots coming and all that, and in their fear and all that. They're going to realize all the stuff that they heard and saw coming up to that event was true. Because that's that predictability that comes after the fact. But by then it's going to be too late.
Yeah.
Not for the majority of the people.
Yeah, that's why it reads in the book of Proverbs, man. It says that for the lost people, that they're going to call on them when it's, they're going to call on them early. In other words, when it's late, man. If you can, brother, give me that in Proverbs 1. Because I was quoting it, Proverbs 1 and 27. You can continue to read on, brother.
It says the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks, the rise of the internet and personal computer, the breakdown of the Soviet Union, and the Pacific tsunami of December 2004 apparently qualify as black swan events.
Yeah, because most people didn't know about all of that, but the government knew about it because they were behind all of those events. Go on, brother, like he was going into.
According to Talib, the term is not, however, a catch-all term for any bad thing that surprises us. It says, for instance, the statistician told New Yorker that the C-19 It was not a black swan event because it had been wholly predictable. Herridge told the other CBS News panelists Sunday there were a number of concerns that factored into her dark prediction,
I say, well, brother, get me Psalms 12. Keep it going on.
including that this sort of enduring heightened threat level that we're facing, the wars in Israel, also Ukraine, and we're so divided in this country in ways that we haven't seen before.
Wow. So he even said, or I think he was a she, right?
That's her now.
Right, that's her now. So she's even saying that America's more divided than it's been now. Now, we don't really know to be exact the particular event that could be occurring. Because, I mean, I believe there's going to be a multitude of various kinds of psyops that they're going to put into stage. But also keep in mind of this variant as well. Because they're saying that globally, people are going to stop dropping dead of a cardiac arrest out here. Especially the people that took the VC.
I saw a video, this woman I don't know if she's a doctor or a nurse, but she's saying it's mandatory now in a hospital that they have to wear the mask again. So she's saying, you know, what's that telling you? Saying that they're bringing back C.
Yeah. Huh.
Right, it says, and I think that just creates fertile ground for our adversaries like North Korea, China, and Iran. And you notice that she didn't mention Russia in that. It says the three regimes Herridge referenced have all expressed
It's all right, bro.
anti-US sentiment
Psalms 12.
in recent months and evidenced the wherewithal to adversely impact American interests.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all we need on that, man. So, I mean, she's just naming different various events that were Black Swan events to the masses of the people, but obviously not to them, because he already knew about it. But, you know, there's going to be, we just know that this is just going to be the deal. There's going to be great evils that's going to befall this environment. But in all of that, the Lord is going to be the one to keep us in all of that. We're going to overcome. And that's the flip side to it. That's the balance. Yeah, the Lord is going to bring destruction, but in that, he's going to show mercy for his elect and demonstrate his majesty and his power and all of that. Yeah, so hit me with Psalms 12. Verse 1. I think, really, I really want you to read verse 2, but you can start with verse 1.
Psalms 12, starting at verse 1, says, to the chief musician upon Shemneh, a psalm of David, help Yahweh, for the godly man ceaseth, for the faithful
Isaiah chapter 12 and 2. No, Psalms 91. Psalms 91. And then Isaiah 12. Because just like I mentioned, you got this particular variant that you're talking about, and they're saying that again, people are gonna have a cardiac reaction because of the VC. So in 2024, we never know. We may very well experience this kind of event of as which was spoken of in the book of Psalms, as David put it, as he envisioned. Yeah, so let's read what we got, brother.
Psalms 91 from 1.
No, where it reads about what is it? Thou shalt fall at our right side.
Okay, gotcha.
Verse 7.
Yep. Verse 7, Psalms 91 and 7.
Verse 6. Start with verse 6.
Psalms 91 verse 6. Let me start from 5. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday.
Yep.
1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee.
And it shall not come nigh thee. And that's why it says that we should be in the state of fear. Because what we're going to experience is those that have not underwent the procedure of repenting and doing everything that the world told them to do. We're gonna see their reward. Because all of this negative stuff that we're talking about, that we're reading about, is really primarily for the wicked. All right? It tells you that in the Apocrypha. We're going to get into that real soon. Yeah, so, continue on.
Yep. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked.
Right, only with thine eyes. Go on.
Because thou hast made the Lord Yahweh, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation.
Go on.
There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling.
Right, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. So whatever plague that's going to come, it's not going to affect the elect, because the elect are already in the Lord's spiritual habitation. Now, doesn't it say in the book of Proverbs that the name of the Lord is as a strong tower, and the righteous runneth to it and is safe? So the Lord is going to demonstrate his power on both sides when it comes to destruction and when it comes to salvation. So whether we believe about it or not, guess what? The Lord's word is going to be performed. So shall his word be that goeth forth out of his mouth, it shall not return to him void. He ain't going to pull back on his word. Oh, no, Numbers, what is it? I think it's 23 and verse 9. It says that the Most High is the power that he cannot lie, nor repent of his works. So these words are going to be in full activation. We're going to see great destructions here and great death. And all of these different rudiments is going to bring all of that. And then we're going to see what? Our deliverance at the same time from all of that.
Proverbs.
Go on, brother.
Proverbs 1 verse 24. Because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand, and no man regardeth. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof.
Yeah.
I also would laugh at your calamity.
Right. I also will laugh at your calamity. So this is talking about these 2/3 ass niggas. And even the niggas among us that know that they're Israelites. Talking about it's okay to eat pork. How they'll kill somebody for some shrimp and lobster. And then, you know, got the nerve to use his camera and say, yeah, look at these spreads. Look at these spreads. Go on, bro.
You got to get the juices on the lens. Get close, get close.
Yeah, God. And he said, look at it, man. It's that chick. It's that chick. You know, niggas like that is going to get the fucking destroyed.
Nigga had pork juice coming out the mouth.
Yeah.
Talking about all crazy. Crazy.
That's crazy.
Sanctified by the word of God and prayer.
And he had his crew with him, man, looking all dazed out, zombie vibe.
That's them parasites in the brains.
And never give it to my house. This stuff is shit.
Yeah. And what they were saying is the pork. It has this large parasite called.
Yeah.
I think it's Asarius or spoon or some shit like that.
Trichni. Yeah. And they can live in the
They
brain.
can live in the brain. Yeah. God, it's called it's also known as trichinosis too.
That's the full terminology. Yeah.
God. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, I mean, them guys, man, they gonna get destroyed. All of them niggas is gonna get destroyed. They want to eat pork, right? Okay, well, they're gonna be sizzled and barbecue like pork. Go on, bro.
And to add, Elder, you know, even down to this parasites, it's known that we cannot be parasite free. It's impossible to get every parasite out of our body, you see?
I understand that, brother, but at the same time, we gotta rehearse these
We
righteous
have to
acts.
rehearse it, that's what I'm saying. But they're making it worse by eating them abominable food.
Yes, they are.
You know what I mean?
Push it
So
on
we're
us.
trying.
Trying to push it on us. That sickness, like I think you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, making sickness seem accepting sicknesses and obesity and all those things that are abominable, trying to make us friendly with them. No, we ain't pushing that over here.
No, the food is the Father's. It is. So why you're choosing to eat the shit,
That's
it's
it.
the Father.
Make matters worse.
Just add an insult into injury. That's all these guys are doing. But they're doing it because a lot of these dudes are depressed and they're using food as a way to get away from their reality. That's why they call comforting is called. That's why they call the company in America called the Food Drug Administration. Just to add a little, you know. Yeah, so go on, brother.
So you said Isaiah 12, right?
Isaiah 12, yeah.
Isaiah 12 and 1, it says, and in that day thou shalt say, O Lord, I will praise thee. Though thou wast angry with me, thine anger is turned away, and thou comfortest me. Behold, Yahweh is my salvation. I will trust and I will not be afraid, for the Lord Yahweh is my strength and my song. He also is become my salvation.
Right. He is also become my salvation. So that's really the power of Israel. The Israelite man is really should be connected with his power. Let me reiterate what I'm going to say. The Israelite man is supposed to connect with his power, and that's supposed to be his power and his glory. So when all hell breaks loose, that's going to be demonstrated, especially on the elect. And people are going to be looking at us like, wow, these guys is what? You know, what's going on over there with these guys? Because we're going to be comfortable. in our mind. They're gonna be looking at you like, how come this guy, somebody might spot you in the midst of the menu. And they may think, what's wrong with this guy? This guy don't seem to be surprised at what's going on. You know what I mean? But the reason why we're not gonna be surprised, because the Lord, as the scripture says, that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time and the strength of salvation. Fear the Lord is his treasure. And it also says that the Lord will keep us in perfect peace. So when you're in perfect peace, you ain't worrying about diddly squat. Even though all kind of shit is going on, you ain't worried about it. Why are you not worried about it? Because the Lord already forewarned us way before it already happened. And we've already had it envisioned so many times. Like Muhammad Ali said, he said, what I do is I envision winning over my opponents. So you gotta have the vision. And the Lord gave us the vision. So when the vision plays out, it ain't gonna be bothering to us. And the Spirit of the Lord is gonna give us more of a stone cold spirit. Go on, brother.
Verse 3 says, therefore with joy shall you draw water out of the wells of salvation, and in that day shall you say, praise the Lord, call upon his name, declare his doings among the people, make mention that his name is exalted.
Right. And make mention that his name is exalted, Nate. As well as he broke down the name back in 95, I believe it was, when he was sitting in front of that blue wall. He broke the name down perfectly well. So we're here to exalt the name of the Lord with this ministry. This is why we go into everything that we go into. We don't go into everything that we go into based on our own will. We go into everything that we go into based on his will to show his praises. Okay? Go on, brother.
Isaiah 41 verse 14. Fear not thou word Jacob,
Right.
and ye men of Israel.
Right, because Jacob has no might in the hand according to the book of Deuteronomy 28. That's why we're considered the one. Go on.
I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel.
Right. Thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, and I will help you. So the Lord is going to help us. Even in a time where it looks like Esau is pretty much getting the upper hand. That's when the Lord is going to come and show what he got to the table through his elect. And that just takes us to believe in it. That's all we got to do, just believe it. And despite the fact that, most of us are going through financial difficulty, hey, you still got to believe. You may think, oh man, I might lose my house or whatever. Guess what? You might not lose your house. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to let this physical reality dictate your mind, man. You got to overthink this reality. And the way that you do it is believing in the scriptures, believing in the power of Yahweh Baal Shem Shai. That's the reality. The reality is that we have a power that could do anything in any place. If you look at the creatures that the Lord has created, I want to show you, brothers, something, man. Like there's some leaf insects that look like leaves. There's even insects out there that look like a tree twig. So that's showing you, if you look at the Lord's creation, his creation shows you that the Lord could do whatever the hell he wants to do. Like right now in this economic climate, the economy has slowed down greatly much so. And to the point where if you have a business, it's going to fail. The economy's down. But the Lord could have it to where you can still make money in this motherfucker. As it is also written that all things are possible with the anointing. I'm roughly paraphrasing the scripture. All things are possible with the Most High. So anything's possible. Even if it may not look like it's possible, it's possible. And that's what we're going to see in these trying times. We're going to see that among all of this destruction and this confusion, we're going to see that we're going to be comfortable. And it's not going to make logical sense to us. But we're going to know that it's the Lord that's helping us get us through this. Even as it stands right now, if you look at what's going on in the world right now, and just the people in general, people are bugged the fuck out. People are more depressed than they've ever been. This environment is hella depressing, and it's fucking horrible. Excuse my language. But yet, we're still able to keep a cool head. Why? Because the Spirit of the Lord is rocking with us. That's what's making us move the way that we move in peace. So if this is the Spirit that's backing us to keep us from losing our minds, because this society can make you easily go insane. But we haven't gone insane, because again, that's the power of the Lord is working. Go on, brother. Okay, we're going.
Two more. It says, sing unto the Lord, for he hath done excellent things. This is known in all the earth.
And he's going to do more excellent things. And the excellent thing that he's going to do is, again, show his kind of power in the hour of Jacob's trouble. And he's going to deliver us, which is going to be the greatest miracle that was ever wrought. He's going to deliver us from all of the four corners of the earth, including the land of the mainland of our captivity, Babylon. Jeremiah 16:4. Let's keep going because we're going to have to close out.
Verse 6.
Keep going,
This
brother.
last one, it says, cry out and shout, thou inhabitant of Zion, for great is the Holy One of Israel in the midst of thee.
Right, great is the Holy One of Israel in the midst of thee. We couldn't get through to all of these precepts in time, so we're going to close out because we got to get ready for the New Year's Eve destruction. And Lord willing, that'll be an edifying live lesson as well. We got a whole lot to talk about in that as well, man. So, with that, we're going to give all of the praises and glory to the Most High and the Son.
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Rakadash.
And Wall brought the fall as well. Shalom. We got it.